Yep. I think, did we get it? Did we get it? Is it 12 o'clock? It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock, and we got it. We're here. We're here. That's, you know what that is over there? That's a lot of green over there. There's a whole lot of green over there on the side, which is good because after every live moving forward, I made a members post about it, and there's like 2, 3. Lumpkin Mumpkin still hasn't managed to get a free one. Neither has Neil Daniels. Mr. Spain, another gray one. We are basically, I mean, you know, there's 39 people here, so I'm gonna talk to those to y'all, you 39 people. So I've said that if you want to get people to care about something, incentivize it. So I mentioned this in the okay. I don't know how to draw this out. Okay, most of you will have seen it because there's green names. I was planning on like a New Year's resolution thing, which is arbitrary, to be like more members content, even if it's not like I don't want to paywall stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be like there are some live streams where like you have to make a dono in order to get a question read. That's not the kind of thing we're going to do here. But what I'm going to do is increase member content up from the nearly nothing that we have right now because YouTube incentivized it. They told me, and I didn't read the boilerplate all the way, so I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it or not. But if I make 2 members-only posts and post 2 members-only videos between now and December 17th, they give me $200. Look, I didn't need an excuse to make more members content, but it 100% helps. It absolutely helps. So there will be an installment pretty much every Friday right after the live stream. And for whatever reason, YouTube has not given us, the creators, the ability to schedule members videos. Like, I leave it on private, and then I have to manually switch it over to members only when this is up. Also, if we can keep and by we, I mean me and the toter to an extent, if we can keep the production schedule consistent, I will be putting up Wheelin' Wednesday, I guess, on Tuesday for members, and then regular on Wednesdays. Although, I don't know, I'm thinking about that. Wednesday is my lowest viewed day of the week, and I think for many YouTube channels that is true. So if I give it to the members a day early, the members are most of the people watching Wheelin' Wednesday. My view count on Wednesday is going to drop to the floor. So I'm trying not to take away stuff. I'm just trying to add stuff. I mean, if that makes sense. So influencers, blah. Important of note, and I think it applies to most of you because there's very little gray names up there. Channel giveaways. We're not giving a rig away this week. We are giving a rig away next week, and we're giving a rig away the week after that. So the following 2 Fridays in November, we'll be giving one away each time. And neither of them are the couvert because it's still sitting in my kid's room unpainted, and they're about to start trade school on Tuesday. So I might end up having to just paint the couvert myself, which is fine. I was hoping for something really cool. What other secrets is YouTube keeping us from trying to sucker good people into? I mean, what they're really is pushing is mid-rolls. The YouTube push is mid-roll. Now that I'm getting, it's only taken 3 years, and I'm getting a little more in a flow of when I record and when I don't, because the less days you record, the better, right? I try to isolate recording to at most 3 days a week, and in a perfect week, I record only 2 days a week. So I make every effort not to record and edit on the same day because it will, as they say, do your head in. Tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Hey, Roland giving one away, and M Van got one. Saturday and Sunday is coursework. I am praying to the stars that this weekend is like today. It is 53 degrees and overcast outside, which for those of you who don't know is absolutely perfect concrete weather. That's absolutely perfect because it doesn't it doesn't vampire all the energy out of your body. And I'm basically not building obstacles Saturday and Sunday. I'm repairing obstacles. I'm finishing out a couple obstacle sections. I'm not allowed to touch deadline yet because we still have groups that need to run it. But I've got more than enough to do, and I just waited for the weather to turn. There was a time not so long ago where I would have just gone out there, 100 degrees, and been doing concrete and moving rock and everything. And you know what? I realized you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Like, I can wait. Is there a reason? Neil Daniels is on here. And then there's the other guy. Who's the other guy? Who's the guy that always asks about the Jeep? The British guy that asks about the Jeep. About this guy. There's only one reason that this hasn't started yet. The weather's too good. I'd rather go outside than drive than I would fire up the table saw and cut aluminum. But the weather is going to start to turn. It is softly drizzling right now. So when we get a day where it's not softly drizzling, I'm going to cut me some chassis. I just put together his wheels and tires for that. So I'm getting hyped for that. The pre-rocks ads yesterday were over 2 minutes. You're welcome. Is there any carpet taped involved with the Crawler Canyon Softs? RC Maniac, yes. You have a couple of choices, either of which work. This one is it's all about the width. 1.4 inch is what they sell it as over here. In non-Freedom units, it is basically 35 millimeter. 35 millimeter. This is Gorilla, and this is like the they're low. It might be Duck. It might be Duck brand. I was going to say the logo is green. Just buy whatever's cheapest. One roll will get you a lot. Will get you a whole lot. Many videos on it. If you look up any of the Canyon custom videos, you will find it will have links to the tapes. It will have links to the tapes. I have no preference. They act exactly the same. One is kind of gray. One is basically clear. They both work exactly the same. Oh, it's me. Fair enough. Yes, Ben Webby. There it is. Yeah, it's a winter project, and SoCal has little winter. That is absolutely true. Can you see the wheels and tires? You know I'm curious. Okay, so... Oh, well, we'll do it like this. Where did I put it? Okay, we'll do it like this. So here's our guy. And my intention was to run this set of tusks on 105s. And that looks pretty good. But they looked a little narrow, a little tall. So these are still an option. There's Crawler Innovations in there. But I just mounted up this morning what I well and truly hope are going to be the one that works the best. We've got LP ruptures filled with revolt inserts for 2.2 Canyon Trail on some obnoxiously wide DJX 2.2s. Oh man, come on with me. Look at that. So what they've done by putting an insert for a Canyon Trail, 2.2 Canyon Trail in an LP rupture, it kind of beefs them out. Oh yeah, come on. And I mean, it's near perfect. Oh, these are gonna be good. And 8-bolt backs. Yeah, so they are definitely now in between. So it's a 5. How did it stand them up? It actually it just pushed them out wide. It somehow didn't make them any taller. They're still sitting at exactly 5 1/4, but now they're, and the inserts for the Tutu Canyon trails work because the inner ring for the wheel is crazy wide. I think they had a 35 millimeter ring, so the wheel, they're like 40 millimeter wheels, and those on rift axles they're gonna be great, and they're appropriately heavy. I'm not concerned about adding too much weight. The weight distribution of this thing is gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna have to get the seats all taken out because I want to paint the. Oh, they do. Yeah. The bases and the backs of the seats come out because I'm painting the whole thing. I'm gonna take it apart to a degree. I don't know how far I'm gonna take it apart, but it's gonna be painted. And we'll get rid of the spare tire mount, and I'll paint the jerry can red. You know, and this one is more of a project than we typically do around here because I lack the patience. I'm not patient enough to like project something. Something starts and then it's done. Oh, I'll show you something in just a moment. I got to catch up. The MB needs skinnies. Well, that's the thing. I rough fit them on the end of the rift axles, 315 millimeters wide. So based on 315 wide, those things are pretty skinny. Although, I mean, these look super skinny compared to the rupture. So I don't know. I'm not committed to either. Yeah, they don't have to be scaled because this thing is being built to be like what somebody did post-war. It's supposed to look like a modded out Jeep. Yeah, Patrick, full black is so hard to get. I don't think I've ever successfully bought a set of full black wheels. All of my full black wheels were achieved by buying 2 sets of wheels and moving hubs and beadlock rings around. It was 3 sets of wheels to build the wheels that are on Misdirection, all the blackouts on Misdirection. And the same for the blackouts on Toothless. I've got a set of S5 Trekkers coming. Do you think they could be a good match for the TX4 you made me buy? And could you believe I'm gonna... Oh, so they made the Trekker in S5? I did not know this. Oh, a Google search doesn't help. I should do Injora. S3, S5. So I mean, here's the thing. Here's why I don't find stuff. I only see the Trekkers, King Trekkers in 1.3 and 1.0. I'm really tempted. Would you buy it again? That must be for somebody else. All right. So, yeah. Oh. Of import. Definitely of import to the folks whose names are in green. I came to a decision. I came to a decision, which is moving forward. If we're not going to like, I thank everyone so much for being channel members, for handing out memberships. There was a period, and I'm hoping that period will peak up again this winter, in which membership money outdid ad money, because that allows me to basically make more content, pay for more content, build more rigs, do all of the things for the channel. Any money that comes in the channel goes right back to the channel, like immediately. Like that. That's how it works. It, as the wife said, needs to be funded, so it's funded. So, channel giveaways moving forward are members only. I can't think of an easier way to go about it, because then also I'm dealing with a pool that's about 200 people. As of right now, I think it was 199 when I last checked. It's I don't know how well the mic's picking up, but it is proper raining right now. So that is the big change I don't consider that to be monetizing the channel because it's already monetized. Like, if people have paid for memberships and paid to give away memberships, so that is where the things that we give away are going to go. That's that. RC guy agrees with that. I found some HY 105s in triple black a long time ago and cheap. I know that doesn't help. Yeah, yeah. I love HY. What is HYBDX? I love Ghoul RC. I love when I go into Amazon to do my bi-weekly search for beadlock wheels, and you find that $23 set of Method 105 clones. Because I wear out Method 105 clones by putting them together and taking them apart 100 times. Hey, I mean, I guess it worked. Jeswa, welcome to the secret society. Yeah, I bought silicones, but it didn't say if they're soft or hard. Yeah, most of them don't. All of the ones that I bought from Famanda, reports tell me that there are differences, in density. Every one I've ever bought feels exactly the same. Yeah, it is. It's full coming down. It is full coming down. We were forecast for 0.05 inches of rain. I'm gonna open the door. It'll get even louder. Yeah, it's just fully raining. Like, that ain't drizzle. It's raining, and that's great. All that needs to do is stop. Because that can go until about midnight. If it rains from now until midnight, that's fine. It needs to stop around midnight because now everything out there will all be softened in. It'll be great. The wheelbarrows will sink into the ground a little bit. Other than that, it'll be great. Nothing's stopping me. Only hear the rain when you talk. Mic cancels during quiet moments. Oh. I didn't know that the noise canceling was going that ham. I don't know if I can mess with it. I can't see chat right now. I'll be back in just a second. Noise reduction at 6, gate at 37. I can turn the gate down. Remove unwanted ambient noise. Okay, actually, I guess, would I turn that up or would I turn that down? Okay, somebody let me know. Did that get better or worse? I turned the gate down. Did that get better or worse? Oh, how did I end up over here? Okay, there, I'm back. Sound is fine, don't change it. Ah, yeah. You can hear the moisture in the air. For my 108 silicones AliExpress 11/11 day deal. Yeah. Oh, it just slowed down a bunch. Sounds like someone's rattling a fence. Yeah, well, the building is metal. There's a lot of metal. And only a little bit of insulation. Because by the time we got to the point where it was time to put insulation in the building, like, this building is 25 feet by 25 feet. And it is a metal steel truss structure. There is no insulation in any of the walls. If I want to tell somebody that I live in California without telling them I live in California, I can't think of a better way than that. This building has no insulation in the floor or walls, only in part of the roof, which is why the rain is so loud. If this is my biggest problem today, yeah, 100%. In reference to the giveaway challenge, I still can't find the membership tab for my phone. I wouldn't pay him monthly for a membership. The thing is, to find it on my phone, I would have to log out. Oh, wait, no. No, I wouldn't. Okay. Let me go on YouTube and see how I join. Like, if I'll bring up some other station. I'll make sure the volume is down. And I'll bring some other station up and see how would I join. Because I do know it's not easy to find. But now I also have to stumble through and find a channel that has memberships. Yes, a clip channel. This one might have memberships. Yeah, I mean, like I tell people, I definitely understand. People are like, I'd really like to join, but I don't know how. Yeah. And I wish, I don't know. Well, this one has a Patreon, so that's not going to help. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody explained it to me. Explained it like I was 5, and I've already forgotten it. I know that on web, it's super easy. It's like it's right there. Like it has join right next. Like when you bring up the video, there's just a button that says join. It's like you're moving around a lot. Okay. All right. I only made one change, so I should be able to fix it. I was wondering if I moved this slider, if I moved it the wrong way. Okay, I put it back where it was before. Hopefully it doesn't sound. Oh, Miata Commuter with 5. Crank Nug, Eric, Jeremy Mitchell, Vince Ruff now, Micro Mitten Crew. And the usual Dodgers keep dodging. On mobile, it's next to the bell icon. Rain for the next hour, it says. Well, if it could keep it down. Yeah, I don't have that. Unless, again, I brought up a channel that doesn't have memberships. Probably Starlink blocking old signal to make you switch over. Google it. Go to his homepage. You should be able to find it. Yeah. You can't join on a phone. iOS won't let you. Oh, there you go. There you go. Because I'm only. I mean, that's definitely. It's just Mac OS in here. So if he says it, I have no choice but to believe it. Hey, look at this. I mean, I guess it's working. CJRC. Welcome to the Secret Society. So yeah, member show will be every Friday following the stream. How valuable that content will be, I can't say. A lot of it is going to be like member driven. So if you guys have stuff that you want to see, that you want to know or want to see, you just let me know. I've told this to people before, but I only get active requests from a pretty small number of people. So as long as it's not, we will. What is it? We will not. What did Squidward get so mad at? We won't. We will satisfy all but the most ridiculous requests. I'm on board for that. Stock 2 Canyon Trails are on plastic wheels, so I'll first try those 1.9 Super Swampers Campbell Food plastic beadlocks because tires are 170G if I remember right, and silicone's 80G. Yeah, they're about. Maybe at this point it's my phone because on mobile it's not next to the bell. Trying on web now. Yeah, you'll find it on web easy. If it's raining there, does it mean you were busy cutting chassis in the workshop? I walked to the post office earlier and it didn't rain at all. It started to drizzle a little on my walk home. I didn't realize that this guy, boy, I really just threw this guy together. He has completely mismatched drive shafts. That is not usually an approach I take. I don't know. These are kind of cool. They've got little cutouts in the ends so you can get a bigger angle. I mean, I don't know if you're going to need that much angle out of a center drive shaft. Here we are. Hold on, I've been distracted. What's going on here? I'm not sure. This is Bluebird. Bluebird is on the bench. Bluebird needs nothing. So Bluebird is a 10 Pro portal. Those of you who remember will remember he is a 10 Pro portal. And I said that 10 Pros should be portals, and I know why they're not. Because he's running... I just changed spur and pinion on him again. because I just swapped him to a Fusion Pro. I was going to put a 2500 kV outrunner in it. Won't fit. Got 10 Pro'd. Here's why it won't fit. There's a recess in the motor plate. Every outrunner has that bundle of wire, the 3 wires coming out right at the front, right where the bolts are. There is no configuration that this would fit any of the higher kV outrunners that I have. I have a 2000, a 2200, and a 2500, and none of them will fit in this. They literally won't fit. The only way to get it to go was to point the wires straight down, and I opted against that. So I just put a Fusion Pro in it, and it drives great on the Fusion Pro. You can't fault a Fusion Pro. Mark Saxon with 20 bones. 20 bones. I'm going to blow all that money on coffee. Now it goes straight into, it goes into this stuff. I'm ill, and I don't know how long I will be able to stay here. It's just a cold, but I'm demolished. Could you explain to me how spring stiffness works in a Droop setup, as in Desert Lizards? Okay, so if you're setting a Desert Lizard up Droop, do I have a loose? I do. Visual aids. Visual aids for the win. Let me get to springs before he passes out on us. And before I fall too far behind on the comments. Okay. We're just going to use random springs. For the live memberships, you could use Discord chat for ideas. Oh, yes. Yes. Have you used a 10-pole motor? I'm curious. Thinking 2700 after Miss Holmes says where torque drops off. I have not. I don't really do end runners on crawlers. Did you say that you're going to be doing some kind of member giveaways? I'll try when I get money. Yes. 2 rigs this month. I would, if I could, being a member-supported joint, right? This is the PBS of rock crawling. Quality content supported by members like yourselves. I'd like to give something away every week if I could, but a lot of times it just it's not possible. Have a great day, Mr. C. What? Don't leave. $20 on coffee. Is that for half of a Starbucks drink? I go to a place called the Clatch with a K. K-L-A-T-C-H. The Coffee Clatch. They make a beverage called the Patio Special. You know how people overuse a phrase and they say it's like crack? The Patio Special is like crack. And it used to be that the nearest coffee clatch was in San Dimas, which is about 50 minutes away from me with no traffic. Then they built one in Ontario/Rancho Cucamonga. That's only about 25 to 30 minutes away. Now they built one in the ritzy bougie supermarket over here that I can drive to in under 10 minutes, and that's a problem. So now we go back and forth. I'm either a Barnes & Noble cafe featuring Starbucks products or Coffee Clatch. And yeah, you can spend $8 on a coffee drink pretty easily. Pretty easy for $8 on a coffee drink. When you say in-runner, how do you mean Hobby Wing Fusion? An in-runner is exactly that. You've got an outrunner and you've got an in-runner. Censored in-runner. Like this is technically an in-runner, but it's not because it's FOC and the speed control is wedged in there with it. In terms of censored in-runner packages, we only have 2 in the fleet. There is one in Ironsides, just because we can, and there is one in the GOM, and that's it. Everything else is either fusions, outrunners, or brushed setups. Don't start rambling too soon. Thoughts on censored motors versus running something like a fusion? Fusion, 1,000%. I don't see a need to run an in-runner in a rock crawler because you're going to be stuck with the very few speed controls that will run censored motors well, and none of those are Castle because they will be extremely loud. There's a Mamba X in the GOM, and you can get away with it. If you're building a bouncer, you can get away with it. I'm not putting an in-runner in a Castle system in this. It would be intolerable. So with the price point of fusions, the attractiveness of in-runners is less than 0. I mean, look at the wiring. There's here. This is, I mean, we could cut that down like a meter. This is all of it. There's a receiver. There's the motor. There's a switch. That's it. This rig has a servo over here, and there's like We would have to have a big speed control stuck on here somewhere if we were running an in-runner. Oh, wait, okay, I'm falling behind. Has Blackjack been given away yet? I wasn't here last week. Yes, it is on its way to, and I kid you not, believe it when I say it, Alaska, North Pole, Alaska. But wait, there's more. Santa Claus Lane in North Pole, Alaska. I didn't want to believe it, but there it is. Do you do raffles or you give away a guy? I'm a giveaway guy. So question, lol. What kind of rig do I have to build to compete with the nephew's rig? Well, he's watching, so I think I saw his name, so I can't show it. Oh, you didn't finish with my weekly lesson. You didn't even start. Okay. So if we're running what we call the full droop mode, it would be something like this. The lengths of the springs would be a little different, but this is what we're working with. So the shock is mounted upside down, so the piston is at the bottom. We have a small spring below and a bigger spring above, so that it's basically pushing the shock down, which is pulling the vehicle up, right? I guess this would help. So we're running the shock. Inside that shock, it looks like that, right? So underneath is the spring that is giving you this. That's the little spring at the bottom. That's basically setting your not going full droop. That's half droop. If you take this away, that's full droop. It's going to push the piston all the way down, and you're going to be, the shock is basically going to be bottomed out. I find that more often than not, that makes the suspension too slow to react, and it's really difficult to get your damping rate just right. Effectively, if you're just going to run it this way with the one spring above, you could almost get away with just sampling with oils until you run no springs. Because if there's no spring under the piston, you're effectively unsprung. You just have the negative springs, because the springs are helping pull this down by pushing the piston down. So generally, I like a very soft spring on both sides, because in droop, the damping, the oil is really going to control most of it. If you're going to run half droop or full droop, oil is doing all of the heavy lifting, no pun intended, and spring selection, just go with the softest springs that you possibly can. And even a medium spring underneath is probably going to be too much. Like, this isn't the shortest one. There's a little shorter one that comes in Desert Lizards. Jolly Green is the only rig that isn't running the absolute softest springs, because he's like 13 pounds or whatever he comes in at. But still, for him, up above are the lightest rate springs. Okay, I'm trying to make a 2-speed axial Yeti into a crawler light basher. Yes, I know the Yeti won't crawl well, but I think it'd be fun to see. What motor would you recommend for a 2-speed setup like that? 2-speed gives you a lot of flexibility, because it means you can go lower KV, and even though, yes, I know, higher KV is more power, they already make too much power. So you can go lower KV and take advantage of that. I would respond by saying, what do you have in it now? And then you can determine what you want your overall top speed to be, and you can set that with the motor. Like, do you want to run 3S? Do you want to go to 4S? You can KV down, volt up. 1800 KV in that area is a good starting point for most everything. 2300, what comes in the pros, is really only usable in a lot of things, and it's in a small number of things. And a lot of that usability comes from the FOC. If you have some other setup that's 2300 kV, it's going to be really spicy, really, really spicy. We can get away with it in this because the low speed control on Fusions is as good or better than anything else. So probably around 1800, but you could get away with a 1200 because it's a 2-speed. Depends on how much Yeti do you want to maintain. If you're going purely towards rock crawling, like in my in my Rift that's been converted to a crawler, I run a 2200 on 4S, but it has gear reduction around 75 to 1, which is about close to double what a typical, like what the Rift comes with. It's more than double what a Rift comes with. So it's tough to recommend. So I would say around 1800. You can go up in KV if you want a little bit more bashy, thrashy nature to it, and you can go down in KV to like a 1450, 1470, something like that. Then you also have to determine what do you want to put in it. Are you gonna stick with an outrunner? Are you gonna put a fusion in it? Are you gonna put an outrunner in it? Like what are you gonna do? So I did a thing the other day. I bought the $50, $2 AliExpress outrunner combo to replace the original electronics in my Axial Honcho. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't. Can we do on an episode on springs? I think I have, but I can do another one. I have the medium length spring, then piston, then short spring. Yeah, that's right. When I say we, I mean the. I run a cut spring on the bottom and nothing on top. That would be too stiff for me, I think, depending on the weight of the vehicle. Good that you're a giveaway guy, then I'll join the Secret Society because I feel more comfortable to pay monthly support when I get better money time a month than donate. Nice, yeah. The idea, it has been presented before, the idea of raffling stuff off. I just don't like it. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. You mean we should run springs? The guy on the other side said we don't have to. Yeah, basically. I ordered the Cliffhanger clone from AliExpress, and I wound up getting a bonus body in the mail with it. Nice! It makes up for the bracelet tool cart. That's the universe. They're just smoothing things out. I use a soft compression spring and an elastic band as a negative spring on my Droop setups. I run these bands on two vehicles. Because there were sacrifices for vanity that I wasn't willing to correct mechanically, so I put bands on it. I sure hope you aren't using a link riser with that setup. Was that? Oh, that's for end screen. And how does that stiffness affect your anti-squat and lifting the tires while climbing? It doesn't. Because anti-squat is suspension geometry. That's determined by geometry. Primarily link separation, both at the axle and at the chassis. The stiffness of the suspension doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, there are probably some people that would disagree with that, but, you know. I'm an empiricist, so what do I know? Raffles come with a lot of rules. 100%. I like you the way you ran the other giveaway for Blackjack. It worked just fine. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The raffle guys with a lot of followers are making a killing. Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing about it. I don't want to be that, right? Like, I don't want to monetize everything. I don't want the whole thing to be about being monetized. Like, channel memberships, I'm absolutely fine with. If anything, it just incentivizes, as it serves as a motivation for me. I'm going to give the rigs away one way or the other. But I feel like if people have paid beyond just watching the ads, and I love the people that watch the ads, if people pay to be a part, to get inside the circle of crawling, if people want to spend some of their hard-earned money on that, then I think that they should be rewarded. I'm not saying more, like when we do other giveaways, I'll be giving other things away because, like, for instance, I haven't even decided if I want to do a video on it. All right. So here's the thing. Jonathan Strickey says, 2 Baja Claws for $12. They still are, unless they've sold out. I just looked it up. They also had the 2.9 fossils for like $16.99 a pair. Right? They're doing that Horizon blow stuff out so they can change their PNs or something. They're doing one of those things. Anywho, I bought these in a moment of weakness at the local Lowe's because I'm a sucker for anything Klein. I love a good Klein tool. Even though I'm a Hako CHP 170 guy, I wear about a pair of these out a year. Like, that is noticeable wear on there. kind of because I just wanted to compare them against each other, right? So these I will give away at some point, not because they're bad, but follow me along this. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this. Watch. It's gonna get semi-interactive. So this is where the tools live. I know, yes, that's a lot of MIP. I'm aware. These go right here, just like that. So these, they don't fit. They don't fit in the opening. Therefore, I can't keep them. This workbench has been designed to fit those. So I can't keep those Kleins. I don't have a problem with their function or their operation, really. They are different. They are very different. You can tell by look at the difference in span of the handle. So the Klein is kind of designed like these, like you know about the banana hands, right? You know about the banana hands. If we go, it's crease of the wrist, right? Is it crease of the wrist? Crease of the wrist is the tip of my middle finger is 8.5 inches, right? So 220 millimeters ish. So I got a big hand. Like but it does have lower spring tension. There's a little bit more spring tension on these. But I don't know. I've been using these for too long. I can't go back. So I'll give these away. That won't be a member thing, right? Like I think these were $12. These are $6. If you were looking to buy one today, I would say get the Hakos. Sometimes you can find them in 2-packs on Amazon for like $12, $13. But, so every giveaway isn't members only. Rigs are. I'm probably falling behind again. Hey, Rick Smith. Rick Smith. Is Rick Smith the Charger guy? Did Rick Smith win a Charger? Am I thinking of the right name? That's in the mail too. Just got here today. What's the main agenda for today? Got a project to work on. Is there just a chill chest? It's a little bit of both. I have a metal skid. I'm not a metal skid guy, but the stupid 10 Pro gearbox, that's the front. That's the back of the gearbox. And that's the front of the gearbox. Those are M2s. So the current gearbox has these little tiny screws that are absolutely functional. If you don't put those 2 screws in, the front of the gearbox like flares out away from the skid. So in this event, I am okay with putting in an alloy skid. And beyond that, there's not really... He doesn't really touch. He's a Portal guy. He can get away with a metal skid. So I am going to make, and I went, there's a silver theme going on. Cheap silver parts. I do like a good cheap silver part. I'm going to try to install that, but if it doesn't happen. Who makes the skid? Ben Webby. This is a bundle of consonants. ZXYRC. Focus. There you go. On Amazon, I'm sure it's... Ew. I'm sure it's on AliExpress and all of your usual sources as well. I want to say this might have been as much as $12. I might have paid $12 for that. We're talking snips. Okay, there's the thing. There are some fancy flush cutters out there. There are some fancy flush cutters out there. I break... Somewhere on the handle, it's worn away now. I know that it says it on the Kleins. Somewhere on the Kleins. Yeah. See? 16 gauge max. I don't even... I guess. Maybe 16 stranded I would go for. I usually break one of these a week. Not a week. About one of these a year. Like, I'll try to cut into something, and the jaw will usually just snap off right there. And then I go, $6. Still pretty sharp. They're not crazy sharp, but they're pretty sharp. Me and the blind guy is not here this week. He was here week before last. And what we were doing is I was doing this. I was going. And I was just feeling what that feels like. And then I would take the Klein. I would do the same thing. See how it doesn't have that snap? I don't know. This is an ergonomics thing. This is a personal preference thing. Somebody out there likes this more than this. But these also have like a harder it's rubbery, but it's very hard. And this is more like a vinyl type handle. I don't know. Too many years of using these. Them some catcher's mitts. Your workbench looks like my tool cart at work. I keep most of my tools in the cart so I don't have to spend time walking back and forth from the car. Yeah. Got to the oh, the sliders. This is a Zoku. This is the Z Pro chassis. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's worth it just for the sliders. They're so good. There might be another one. There might be another one because there might be another one. Remember what I said about 10 Pros where I was like, there's no need to buy one of these? I still kind of think that there isn't. Particularly now that you can go on Amazon and you can buy a 10 Pro gearbox. I want to say they're about $65. Then you buy this for I think it's 90 from Zoku. So now you're at like 150, and then you buy a set of 10 Pro portals from Axial for $150, and for $300 you've got yourself a portal 10 Pro, and you just need to fill out the rest of the gubbins. You got to buy a little couple bits and bobs to get it together, shocks and whatnot. But you're still, after all, by the time you're done, a 10 Pro kit is $429. You'll be at or under the price of a 10 Pro kit basically to build this. Thanks to Amazon, AliExpress, and Zoku. Someone like Zoku Pros. I do. Can you get TRX4 overdrive in the portals? Not that I'm aware of, no. Does the blind guy have a YouTube channel? The blind guy doesn't even watch YouTube. Like, he's a blind guy. What he does is he binges TV shows like you've never imagined. Like, I'll tell him, oh, you should check out this TV show. And he will sit and just watch the entire, if it hooks him, he'll watch the entire thing in like 3 days. He's the blind guy. He's blind in his right eye because he got a brain tumor when he was like 19 years old, severed his optic nerve. And ever since the tumor, he has the weirdest sleep schedule you've ever imagined. Like, he won't sleep for 2 days, and then he'll sleep for like 16 hours. So his tumor was about the size of a lemon. Oh, he's hidden back there. There's a little plastic lemon back there. So imagine about that long, about that big around, right above his optic nerve for his right eye. So when they irradiated that thing out, like it did something. Like it's crazy. His sleep schedule. Sometimes just doesn't sleep. He'll come over here and spend a couple days, and he'll arrive on like a Thursday and not sleep until he leaves on Saturday. It's wild. It's wild. So when he binges a show, he binges a show. TRX4 overdrive is just ring and pinion, correct? Or, swap out the gearbox. This feels like a God hand nippers review. The Klein handle looks comfortable, less comfortable with that texture on it. It doesn't feel bad. It's not slippy. It has a nice amount of grip to it. Ergonomically, they feel okay. I just think for a lot of people, that's a lot of span. I feel it here when I squeeze them, and when I squeeze these, I really don't. It's more here. So now this is some insight into my radio reviews, where like I either like it or I don't. I can't make myself like something. I messaged him about some giveaway thoughts. Wait a minute, he's like blind. He is legally blind. He has full blindness in his right eye, and he has about something around 25% vision remaining in his left eye. And the vision is like, let's see if I can do this right. So his vision is like that. So he sees in this little narrow band. And since the brain tumor, he's driven RC cars. We played paintball for a couple of years. He's blind, and I still to this day, so it's been over 20 years. To this day, I still tell him that he's faking it. But he also gets a handicap placard, so we get to park up front. So, and sometimes he whips me with the cane. It's funny. It's funny. I enjoy it. How can I ask how much reduction does a belt drive give? It is typically 2.6 to 1. Then there's a fine tooth one, and if memory serves, that one is 3.1 to 1. This guy had a belt drive on it when he was on 2000 kV because it was a little slow. But even now on the 2300, I think he's running 2184, so he's 4 to 1. It basically came out about the same speed. We went up 300 kV and we geared down a little, so he's about the same overall top speed. How is the Mias LCG chassis? It's great. Tell him to watch Mr. In Between. I binged the 3 seasons. Mr. Jordan, I watched the entirety of Mr. In Between from the first episode to the last. I want to say 4 days. Just straight through. Just done. It was great. It was great. It's no Breaking Bad, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. Sounds like a strong man doing his best. Mr. C, do you know of a cheap but viable replacement for the TRX-6 chassis? I'd like to find something to take a little weight off of the 12-pound rig. No. Any LCG, any replacement chassis that I'm aware of for the TRX-6 is what I call starting over. Like, what is it? NWSD, Northwest Scale Designs, I think they have one. There's a couple different companies that are making TRX-6 rails. Basically, none of your stuff is going to fit. You're going to have to change everything. 12 pounds is not a problem for a 6x. It really isn't. Jolly Green is about 12 pounds because he even has the full internal fenders and everything. 12 pounds is very workable on a 6x6. My advice is just put it, you know what? They're on pre-order, and I've almost pre-ordered, but I'm too addicted to my A-main points. I am going to order a Fusion 8. Is a Fusion 8 going to go into Jolly Green? Probably. Highly likely. Because him down 1,000 kV from where he is now, chef's kiss, sounds just about perfect. I can't think of anything more suited to a Fusion 8 than a TRX-6. I picked up a pair of SCX-102 CNC portals off eBay. Don't know what I'm building. I just couldn't turn them down. Build a new rig. I think the belt drive makes less reduction. Indeed. Did you watch that movie? You know I didn't. You know I didn't. But it is on Disney Plus, and I swear to you, I am. I will. I'm going to. It's going to happen. Is there a bolt-on gearbox on TRX4 Sport High Trail? Only 5 hours driven, and I started the TRX4 clicking sound. Video says it's because 3 millimeters of slack on the gearbox. It can be shimmed, but I'm too new for that. You can buy through like AliExpress. You can buy complete TRX4 gearboxes of varying degrees of quality. But Daphne has been running one of those cheap, I want to say like Benedict Harry alloy housed TRX4 gearboxes since almost the very beginning. And now her gearbox is in Crunk. Everything gets spread around. Yeah, but you can buy full TRX4 gearboxes for cheap. So the blind guy has a unique way to grok crawl. Yeah, he basically just goes and blasts. He's legally blind, which is not the same as completely blind. Yes, he's blind, right? Like he trips and he has no depth perception because he only has one eye. These things rely pretty heavily on depth perception, so he tends to just beans are always the answer. So he breaks some stuff. Have you watched Arcane on Netflix? We just started season 2. Brazen Scale. Yes. Can you give a quick summary of what a rear link riser does? I see them offered for the VS410, but don't know when or why you'd install one. The basic, the short of the long of it is this. I realized I just went really silent. Like I just stopped talking. I was looking for this wrench. Okay. So you have the link separation at the axle. on an AR-45, that is about 25 millimeters. About 25 millimeters. And we are working with a tire that is about 120 millimeters tall. I moved my calculator, and now I can't find it. So that means that the link separation is 21% of the height of the tire. The general rule of thumb is that you want your link separation at the axle to be about 20% of the height of the tire. A link riser, like if you're running a class 1 with a link riser, what are y'all doing? So we're about 20%. So this guy does not need a link riser. There is a link riser on Clank because Clank runs 5.4 inch tall boggers. And 25 millimeters is not 20% of 5.4 inches tall. So the link riser in general, if I'm going to do an anti-squat change, I'm going to move link position at the chassis end. I'm going to leave this alone. So more often than not, you don't need a link riser. If you're running LPs, something like this, you might, because now we're not near 20% anymore. Like that differential, we're probably 14-15%. So yeah, like the impact isn't massive. And also, though, this is just speaking in general, because some configurations and some setups, you will notice that link separation more than in others. The more link separation at the axle, not including what's going on with the tires, I don't know if it's going to be impactful in a way that you will immediately notice. Is that straightforward enough? We have a guy that we line him up to bowl and it's all muscle memory. Yeah, so he's the opposite, peripheral vision only. I'm still watching Breaking Bad. I've watched it all twice, end to end. I wonder if you could put together a belt drive system with the divorce transmission that's belt driven. So turning it into a sedan? Have you seen that new MGX Hypergo 112? No, I have not. I want to see a Fusion 8 in a lightweight build. So do I. Fusion 8 looks like a soda can. It's just the size of a buggy motor. It's almost the exact same size as an 8-scale buggy motor. It's like 4269. So I have motors here that are that exact size. I have a 9.9 mod 3542 Outrunner and the 9.9 mod to push the 12-pound rig around. It should be fine. Fusion would throw it around a bit more, though. Did anyone catch the recent Holmes Hobbies video where he accidentally leaked his own version of the Hobbywing Fusion? I did not. Brazen Scale makes a frame for the 6x6. Yes. Ooh, one-eye crawler dude here, too. Hey. When in doubt, throttle out. 100% agreed. It makes building really hard sometimes, I can imagine. Bonita Creek RC said the most country thing I've ever seen. See you later. We're going to drive to Wilcox, Arizona and pick up a horse. I'm waiting for the AM32 and Outrunner Fusion. Somebody just needs how to figure out how to get FOC into firmware on an AM32. Yeah, Clank does have variable caster rear link riser. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I missed the new Fusion release. So it's the Fusion 8. It's on pre-order. It's an 8th scale, basically size. 4269, 2300 kV, all the same specs, but it has an 80 amp ESC in it that says 80 amp continuous, 240 peak. Hey-oh! So it's a big boy. You know what I didn't look at? I didn't look to see if it's 4S. I wised up. Well, I don't know how much I wised up. I wised up a little. I have a tiny little laptop, which is what I did the live streams on for about 10 minutes. And I just brought that out here because it makes it a lot easier than typing on my phone. 4S LiPo, everybody. The Fusion 8 is 4S capable. They gave us our 4S Fusion. Now, 2300 kV on 4S. Spicy. But that does open the door for a 4S TRX6. So on 2300 kV. They say winter is coming. Yeah, I was gonna pre-order, but like I say, I'm waiting for my A-main points. Fusion 8 and the Rift. Yeah, Rift would be perfect for a Fusion 8. It's smaller than the big Axe 4274, though. Yeah, I mean, sure. Because there's also a speed control in there. Yeah. But the diameter is where we get the torque from, so. Do Vanquish axles need Vanquish hexes? No. Not really, no. It is 4S, yes it is. And if only they would continue that theme. And I mean, how could they do? What would they call it? Because now that the Fusion 8 is coming out, they're calling the Fusion Pro the Fusion 10 Pro, which leads me to believe that they're leaving themselves room. Because now we've got Fusion Mini 16, Fusion 10 Pro, Fusion SEs, and Fusion 8. So they're definitely leaving. So is there now there's an adapter plate. So are people going to be putting, is that Fusion big enough to put in an SEX6? Or are we waiting for the SEX6 size Fusion? I don't know. I mean, I would think it would be big enough because a Fusion Mini 16 can move one of these. So I don't think a Fusion 8 would actually have a problem moving an SEX6, but I don't have an SEX6. And by design. Not due to anything other than deliberate avoidance. I'm wanting to build a completely custom crawler. Should I spend the big money to get the Capra axles, or what would you suggest trying to stay cheap as possible? Capra axles are pretty safe, especially if you go offset Capra axles, because then you can run BTA servo, you can run servo and axle. There's a lot of parts out there for them. Offset Capras, you can get double cardan CVDs for them. I would say Capras are a good way to go. And if you're going to build it custom anyway, just that also a Capra axle opens you up, right? You set your wheelbase, you can go with a class 2, you can go with a class 3, you can go with giant Proline chisels, you can put whatever you want on there. So yeah, I would say Capra axles. Not axial Capra axles. Get the Mias, get the Amazon versions. The Amazon versions on Wolverine were $100, and they have about $50 in parts, and so about $150 for the set of axles, which for full metal axles is not overwhelmingly expensive. Hobbywing have cornered the combo market. No, Hobbywing own the combo market. I want to see the 8 and a TRX4. Well, I mean, see, this is why I'm not worried about it. I can move this guy's plate at any time in the next 72 hours because he's got he runs in the final week. So I have 10 days to move him over. But so the Fusion 8, pardon me, Bluebird. So the Fusion 8 is basically this exact size. So if you put a Fusion 8 in a TRX4, it will look pretty much exactly like this. Because that is a 4268 2350 kV Toro RC censored inrunner, and it just fits. You actually have to, I don't know if it'll show anywhere, you have to shave a little bit off of the servo mount to fit that in there. And I kind of just wanted to see if it would fit, and it do. So when you saw Ironsides manage to do Deadline, brought to you in part by Mama Max Pro and an 8th scale buggy motor. So that is basically what just change the colors. Instead of the orange, put red, and that's pretty much what a Fusion 8 will look like in a TRX4. That's how I know one is going to fit in. I've kind of committed. I'm going to put one in Jolly Green. Fusion 1 Pro when? Yeah. Do a conversion on a real truck instead of paying West Coast gas prices. Heck yeah. What's your favorite rig and why? Like right now? Whatever one I'm driving at that moment is my favorite one. Like, what's my favorite platform? TRX4 probably. Like, as far as a base to start from, I don't know. Could be the Phoenix. Is it the Phoenix? Is it the TRX4? I don't know. I don't know. Do I have a favorite? Do I have to pick favorites? Ten Pro portals. I have no experience, but I'm probably getting them from the next build. As far as name brand, like big 4 branded axles, those are fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. I still say, and I will continue to contend, that they have the best implementation of BTA steering. Even when you scooch your axle back so that it's way too close, and then you have to trim the shaft down, which you made yourself, so it's not a problem to trim it down. But yeah, it's so much cleaner than the way Vanquish does it, and the way that they attach the links to the plate. My complaints about the 10 Pro axle are near non-existent. I'm going to ask, as I'm going to get a TRX6, what's your dislike for the G63 body? When you receive it, and you take the thing out of the box and take the G63 body off of it, you will understand my complaint with the G63. It is as tall as the Defender, but this long, and it probably weighs 3.5 pounds. Jolly Green's body is made by taking 2 J-Concepts Lloyds and bolting them together with wood and aluminum. It still weighs less than a G63. And then with that G63, if you get into anywhere where you're on angle and you're trying to get through something, you're not going to. It's just it's so massive. That body is so massive. The Vanimal surprised everyone at Deadline. At 113 watches, is this the biggest live stream last? No, it was bigger last week. We actually, Mr. Scribner, if the analytics are to be believed, we peaked at 149 confirmed viewers. 115 is not shabby. I'm not complaining at all. The BTA is the main reason of interest. I wish I could get 2 fronts though. Yeah. Should I get the flatbed then? Well, you got to remember, the big TRX6 has the lockers and everything else. I don't think the hauler has the lockers. The hauler is also a different chassis, so it's longer. It's slightly longer. I would still get the TRX6, and I mean, maybe you'll like the G63. Don't let me dissuade you. That's a huge body. But like I said, you can sell it. Somebody will buy it. Somebody will buy it. Yeah, there you go. I'd get the Mercedes and plan to swap the body. Yeah, unless you want to haul smaller rigs. Yeah, exactly. That must have been one of my eyelid back inspections. Yeah. Just rest in your eyes. I understand that completely. I am of a certain age as well. Where the sleep it comes for you. I wish the Unimog 6x6 body was still available. Oh, but that's where you're wrong. It doesn't exist. Never did. Never existed. You think you were tricked into thinking that it existed, but it really doesn't. It didn't. Have I seen one in person? Yes. Did it exist? No. If memory serves, Axial had the 6x with the Unimog available less than 9 months total, and then just stopped. You can still buy a brand new Honcho body right now The Honcho came out over a decade ago, but go try to buy a Unimog body. And, just a Unimog cab, an axial Unimog cab. They act like it never happened. Andre Rosu gave it to Jeremy Yoder. Andre Rosu gave it to Jonathan Sturkey. And Andre Rosu hits Swampers RC. Look at that. Andre throwing him down. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. So this is unwise from the outset. Like, can we remove this skid? Oh yeah, no, we should. This is less unwise actually, because I forgot that the gearbox is actually physically attached to the front motor mount. So when I pull all these screws out of the bottom, it shouldn't actually really fall apart. No, we should be good. We should be good. We do have to take these out though. So it's a good thing the drive shafts are off, because these would have just fallen out. I'm going to start doing 3 separate ones instead of 5. I'm poor this month. It looks more impressive when you do separate ones. I've just realized something. This is the only live I've seen that has mods. Better yet, the only live stream that doesn't need them. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't even know how to do that. So it's a good thing that this place doesn't get out of hand, because I don't know how chat works. I know I can bring little green dots up. I can bring little dots, and I can report and block, and that's all I can do. That's it. I would buy an axial Unimog if I could. If it existed, it would be such a cool thing to buy. There's a few guys in our club who are convinced a hauler with a 12 or an 18 on board are convinced they're crawling. You don't want to be anywhere near them. Mr. C, any plans on another 6x6 build? I would like to do one more. I would like to have a second one, and I would like to go all in, full 6x6. So all 6 wheels steerable, and like do it as stupidly as possible. Like so you'd be looking at something like front axle, middle axle, rear axle. So like that, right? I don't know how I would do it. I don't know what axles I would want. Element maybe, but someone would have to figure out how to 3D print the pass through. Element would be pretty easy too, because you can just flip you don't need specific axles. And I know how to decently well how to work with them. The BT, it would be Element. 3 Element axles, steerable. Yeah. Would be pretty good. Also, I was thinking that those gearboxes that are going around that run 2 motors, kind of calling for a 6x build, isn't it? Because then you have a separate motor running the front and a separate motor running the rear axles. Just do 3 gearboxes. Do 3 motor on axles. Yeah, I would love another 6x, but it wants to be pretty much like full custom, like our boy Ratchet, but 6x and more stupid. Good old zip tie. Civilized Anarchy. Yeah, there you go. The SCX-10-3 40th anniversary K10 looks really good. It really does. And and you know me, I'm not a Proline guy, but they loaded that thing down pretty good. A gentleman came over here and was driving in the yard with one. And here's what's crazy. So that came out a couple of years ago because it was the 40th anniversary one. So I want to say it came out in 2022. How have they not sold out yet? It's almost 2025. I think they only made 2,000 of them, and they still haven't sold out. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 10-3. Can we also try to promote a remote dig unit? Yeah. Where is the transfer case with dig? Well, I mean, I know where it is. The GOM has one. The GOM has a diggable transfer case. But most everything about the GOM, super weird. Will I need to change links to go from an AR-44 to an AR-60? 100%. 100%. Do you still have the Charisma van? Absolutely. Aren't they like $550 for a 10.3? I think I saw one for, last time I saw it was $499. That might have changed. SCX 10 3 Proline anniversary. $599. $599. So the last time I saw it, it must have been on, where did it go? Where'd chat go? Wow! It must have been on a Horizon thing. Because it was less last time I saw it. The guy who had one here was running it completely box stock. No changes to it. My biggest complaint about that anniversary edition is that it didn't come with the dig on the LCXU. I think it absolutely should have. That would almost be a deal breaker for me. I've enjoyed watching the van build. I may have missed some vids. Gonna look for more. There's yeah, $5.99 is a lot. But if you just, because it's all festooned with Proline, the cost, if you were gonna buy all that stuff, and I'm not saying that I would advise anyone rush out and buy that stuff, but if you were gonna buy all that stuff, you're definitely getting your money's worth on the purchase, because the body, the stupid Proline wheels with the stupid Proline dual stage inserts with the stupid Proline tires, it's like $150 for the wheels, tires, and inserts. You know, Proline tax. So I don't feel like they're robbing you. It's more than I would want to pay, but as you know, is he coming out yet? I gotta figure out how to make that bird poke out. Yeah, $5.99. Well, all right. $5.99 is a lot, right? We all agree. There's a bunch of crawlers sitting at $5.50 right now. A big part of my burgeoning anti-RTR philosophy. Yeah, it is LCXU. No, that. If there's a selling point for the Proline one, it's that I thought that it was a 10.3, not a base camp. It's more of a selling point for me that it's a base camp and not a 10.3. Because if it had the regular slush box in there, I'd be all, oh no. There's a guy selling one of the Proline SCX-10 here for $5.50. I mean, based on New Zealand money, that's not bad, right? What's your favorite tire for all-around use? J Concepts Tusk. In all sizes, primarily the Class 2, the 475 Tusk. Go look at the leaderboard for the Crawlympics, and it goes Tusk, Tusk, Tusk at the top. The three leaders are all Tusk. Hey, look at that. Oh, wait, we're going. Oh, what does it look like from over here? Oh, wait. There we go. Whee. Yeah, I'm endlessly surprised by how good these axles are. I was trepidatious about the 10 Pro portals. And then, blame Zoku, at Proline by the Fire, he handed me these rails. And I was like, dang it. I got to build another one. And you know what? I'm glad I built another one. The 10 Pro has come full circle for me, because I still don't think you need to buy one, but I think it's nice to build one. I did not like this gearbox on straight axles, but it's pretty strongly okay on portals. And we're going to find out, because, as you'll remember from a few moments ago, this is straight axles, and there is the slush box. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together as a group. Oh, let's come back over here. There we go. Friend bought a used Unimog 6x6 and it's extremely good quality. I mean, if it existed, it would be pretty good. Yeah, Vanimal just did a full run on Deadline. To everyone's amazement, yeah. Opinion on the 2 Vanquish Builders kits, can't make up my mind. I wouldn't buy either of them, is the long and the short answer. Mostly because they're chock full of sintered gears. The VRD Builders Kit is a stance without all of the RTR parts, and the C-channeled one is a 4-dice without all of the RTR parts. So that's all they are. There's no point in buying those kits because they give you no upgrades at all. They don't give you gears, they don't give you the upgraded shocks, they don't give you anything. It's just a RTR that you have to build that doesn't come with a body, that doesn't come with wheels and tires or crappy electronics. If you're going to spend $300, buy a TRX4 Sport. If you want to buy Vanquish, buy a VRD Carbon or a Phoenix kit. The only things I would recommend anyone buy from Vanquish as of today would be the Phoenix Portal kit and the VRD Carbon. There's nothing else worth buying. You don't get quality for your money. Especially when you consider that, okay, spoilers, not really spoilers. Hey, members, coming up sooner-ish, okay, one of the giveaways, okay, right here. Here's one of the giveaways. Inside this box is all of the stuff Mias Gold Flake, okay? Mias Gold Flake. In this box, I'm pretty sure you can guess what's in here. Mias nylons, okay? Also in the box right there, I don't know how well they showed, drive shafts from Mias and the full link set from Mias. So we're all Mias right now, right? Okay. Chassis, axles, and it wouldn't be complete without the Mias variable offset bead locks. Okay. A set from a kit from Vanquish will cost you $299 for the VRD Builders, or what do they call the other one? VS410 Builders. Either of the Builders kits will cost you $299.99. $139, $20 for the links, so $159, $80. So that takes us to $239, and these are $50. $289, and the only thing we're missing is shocks. Is this better than what you get from a Vanquish Builders kit? Unquestionably. It's not even close. If you just put these things together like this, like I said, under $250. You're under $300. All you're missing is shocks. You build some chavs, and you're sitting at about $310. You know what you need to replace on this? Nothing. And you also have wheels. So you're $50 ahead of the Vanquish, but you've spent the same amount as the Vanquish. Yeah, Mia says those all kitted up on the website for $265. Like Vanquish is how much longer are they still going to let us buy the Carbon? That's what I want to know. 410 Portal. Is that what it is? They have that comp, yeah, 249. Bottom Mias. I ordered the Mias Gold Rush, and I'm going to run the H10 stock front axle with a 10-3 rear portal. Ooh, there's a real mix and match mullet. For those who have never seen, I need a drink of water. I think I just swallowed my own spit. Oh. Christopher Bowman, you have to let me know. How similar is the width between the H10 and a 10-3 Portal? I've never put them next to each other. And oh, man, let me tell you something. We had a good week. We had a good week here because we got some stuff out of here. The optics went on to their forever homes. Blackjack is on its way to the North Pole. Legs left. We got rid of like 5 or 6 rigs out of the building in 1 week, which, you know what that means. That means room for 5 or 6 more. Go to 3. For those of you who have not heard me complain about the weirdness and the unnecessary complication of the Pro Box. So, like I said, this is bolted to the FMM. So I think I have all the screws out, so we can just lift this out. For those who didn't know, this, much like an XF, the skid is part of the gearbox. So there's the internals. There's the switchable OD. And there's the bottom of the input gear. Wild, right? Wild. And then, on top of that wildness, we've got the M2s, man. M2s. I'm debating. I'm debating right now. Do I want to put thread lock in it? I don't know if I want to put thread lock on M2s. So what is the price on the new Fusion 8? $159. $159. Don't kid yourself. There's still wall-to-wall rigs in the workshop. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to that guy. He's okay. I'm gonna say that this is real iffy because I put it on backwards. Look at that. Sits right down when you put it on correctly. Hey, we're in business. We are in business. I think I might put these little screws in my hand. I got the Amazon fake F10 axles and so far not running yet. Looks good for $130. Yeah, they're not bad at all. Will AR60 axles and links work on a 10 too? Your wheelbase is going to get really short if you try to use the same links because the mounting points are going to move out probably 25 millimeters. So work, yes. Be what you want? I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Extreme Mount Lamprey? There should be a guy in the chat who has sworn. What is it? What is that thing where they swear to you killed my father and prepared to die? Like he really hates a lamprey. They worked great here. They really did. So depending on what price they are, I would buy them. They did really well here. What are your thoughts? Oh, yeah, lampreys. Don't put thread lock. Okay, good. When I started getting into crawlers, the local shop had a Unimog kit for $325. I should have bought it. Man, yeah. I'm gonna get some of those shocks. That blue is awesome. Yeah, these are straight up Amazon chavs, and because they're the odd size and blue, you can still get them with the Eclipse. Because, yes, people pointed it out that during one of the tire tests, was it Hammers? One of Wolverine's shocks fell apart. Like the thing unthreaded and it fell down. I didn't notice it until he went out to do another tire test after that one. And the crazy part is none of the juice came out. Like the top seal didn't dislodge. So that shock didn't even need to be rebuilt. Just wiped down and he got put back together. This is actually going far better than I thought it would. You're bolting plastic to metal, so you should be okay with that thread lock. Yes, but I'm the screws are going through plastic into metal. Yeah, never thread lock on plastic, everybody. Like right here, you would never need thread lock because we're going through metal into plastic. But fore and aft, we're going through plastic into metal. I think it's still going to be fine. It's definitely going to be more snug than it was before. And we'll see. We'll get to find out how scratched up this thing gets. It's going really well. What are your thoughts? Oh, like a small rupture. Yeah, they are. Yeah. It's like a rupture, but in regular class 2 size. I think they say 4.71. These mount out to, yeah, pretty small. 117, 118. So yeah, they're, I mean, yeah, basically a little bit narrower than a hunk. I want to run the Baja Pro X on my rig, but AR-44s are not wide enough, and I want to go to a portal. Yeah. If you're talking about the 2.2 Pro X, yeah, you need AR-60. Rift size. They are really big. Are those not threaded? Okay. That's why there's different hardware. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, all right. I gotta get the sauce. What's the weight differential on the new versus old skid? I didn't weigh the other one, but I mean, this basically weighs nothing. This is 10, 12 grams. This is really hollowed out. It's not going to be a lot. They want me to use these big old screw. Yeah, that's what they want. And that's not going to happen because I don't want to drill into my sliders. So I'm going to go get the sauce. I'll just be over here for a minute. Don't worry about me. Turn on the light. Get the sauce. Turn off the light. I resisted anything other than now I can't remember the name of it. The tap fluid that I've been using for 25 years and now can't remember the name of. I resisted changing it to anything else, and then I bought the mock blue goo at the Lowe's, and now I won't use anything but the mock blue goo because you can get it all over your whole body, and nothing bad happens. It's absolutely fine. I should have checked this before I put it together, but I didn't. So that's 285. We're good to go. We are going to we're gonna make us a mess. Super Kirk. What do you think about Yonter's servos? I think that they're right there with 9i mod and the like, where you could do well, you could do bad. It's you don't know till you know. There have been a number of servos like this. Is a 9i mod in here. I'm not crazy about them. Let's put it that way. Oh, I hope that's actually 3.3. I hope that's 3.335 in there. Tap magic. Okay, we gotta. How about we just go all the way to drill? Let me. Okay. A little more sauce. If you're not machining new threads, and this is why this stuff is so good. Get it all over your body. It doesn't even matter. If you're not tapping threads out on your rig while it's assembled, what are you even doing? I just need to burn through that first layer of anodization. If this dang thing, dang it, Bobby. Eh. I was thinking if you put the Fusion 8 in Jolly Green, is going to weigh 18 pounds. No, you got to remember, Jolly Green is currently fitted with the Axe V2 3300. I'm pretty sure that Fusion 8 will probably take weight off. So, what I'm going to check on the next 3 is what is the actual hole size. Because we're tapping aluminum here. It should not be this arduous. Reefs are doing wheels now. Yeah, reefs are definitely diversifying. They have their own rod ends and everything. I cannot. Okay. The pile of sludge is getting pushed out the inside now. That should honestly be enough. Okay. I'm going to check the other ones. I've got a Cobalt 3.3 here. I'm going to drill them out. And I saw the hardware when I put the thing together. I don't know why that chuck is not grabbing that right. I'm going to try my first direct power servo. What would you recommend? Flash Hobby 60 kg. I'm going to have to look at the Reef's wheels to see what that looks like. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, this is going to fight me here. Really fighting me. Wow, why is this not going? Make sure the threads are cleared out. I didn't realize you got a full-size V8. Yeah. And what's worse is that was originally installed in a TRX4, and it was way too much. It was way too much. Get out. Yeah, those threads aren't near deep enough. I don't want to put that tap on my bigger drill and snap it. So I'm not gonna. Maybe the tap was just clogged out. We're gonna find out. Reef's wheels are $80 per pair. Ooh. Good grief. So we can do the let's for sake of democracy, let's call it the all Florida build. So you get yourself the Reef's wheels, and then you get yourself some Team K&K shocks, and now you've spent what, $325 to get wheels and shocks, and now you only need to just put the rest of the rig together. Why is this chuck not grabbing? Don't tell me I've worn out another drill chuck. We're not getting any threading because as soon as this driver hits any load at all, it just spins. This is the newer tap, I think. Anyone tried the 9 iMod 55 kg? That one? Anyone have a favorite direct power low profile servo? It's nearly impossible to find for reasons that I cannot determine. The inner part of this has to taper down. That's all I can figure. It has to taper down. So I'm going to drill out the next one for sure. I think you wore out another drill chuck. I really do. Oh, M Van. Let me grab it. Okay. We can get it threaded in enough. We can get one in. There it goes. All right. So I need to drill that. I need to make sure it's 3.3. I can't remember the model number. So RS700 was a good go-to, but they're way too expensive. Way too expensive. AGFRC. No, it doesn't say it on the case. AGFRC 35 kg. It's a 3S guy. I can go to Amazon. After I clear all of the pop-ups. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm not signed in? This is ridiculous. Oh, sorry, I just went really quiet there for a second. I'm still trying to find the model number of this. I have to look it up. What is typically on Amazon is the 33 kg version, SA66 BVMW. Let's see if it's in stock right now. It is. The problem is, usually after putting a coupon on it, they're about $100. I try to avoid buying $100 servos on a daily basis, but particularly for this gentleman, if you're doing the BTA on straight axles, look how high that servo is up back behind there. And it is fast and strong and quiet, and I have no complaints about it on any level. That AGFRC is, and I can easily talk myself into it, as an RS 700 is now what, 140, 150? Well, that's not okay. Look, listen. Anthony P, my Zoku didn't run last week, didn't go well. I got hit in my car, and it totaled my RC car as well. That's not great. That sucks, dude. I mean, that's the insult to injury. Like your toy car should have come out fine. The universe owes you for that one. You can't take out both of a man's cars. It is untoward. Okay, 3.3. Let's see. Let's see if this makes life easier at all. Okay, maybe if I go down here. We'll go back here. Let's see. Is it 3.3? No, it is not. Okay. That's that would be why that tap was having such a hard time. I think that hole is probably 3 millimeters on the through hole. So we just hogged an M4 tap into a 3 millimeter or maybe a 3.1 millimeter hole. Little cobaltium action. Whoa, watch out, guy. This, oh man, yeah, okay. Okay, what do we say for a 4S servo? Okay, here's the thing. Here's what you have to be ready for. And I'm sure you're aware of it if you're in that position. If you need 4S and LP, just get ready. Just get ready to spend. You're going to spend 150, 160 bucks. Now, if you're talking regular height 4S servo, Flash Hobby 60 kg. Also, there is that choice. You can be economical. This is a full height servo. It just comes down below the level. Now, you could spend $90 more and get a half height, or you can buy a low height like this one for 60, 65 bucks and just let the bottom of it get scraped up. And if anything happens to it, you can buy another one and you're still $30 ahead of buying the half height. I will only run half heights when you have to have half height. Does the Fusion FOC have any tunable settings? It has 12. 12 tunable settings. Now, not really. It has 12, but it doesn't have 12. Okay. Fusion Pro has running mode, lipos, cutoff, thermal protection, motor rotation, BEC voltage. But then you have drag brake force, drag brake rate, max reverse, max brake force, RPM decreased, punch, and neutral range. Realistically, on a Fusion, particularly a Pro, you're going to be running drag brake force and rate at 5, halfway. You don't need to go any higher. In a guy like this, at about the 6 pounds, I could probably turn the rate and the force down and still get away with it. Punch and your punch is mostly where you're going to live because you can dial out some of the spiciness at the beginning. I usually run at what's 2? At level 2. I usually run punch at level 2. Take a little bit of the crispiness off the top of it. My drill would have been through it all. I'll pay, but I only want to pay once. Yeah. Then. Oh, you mean just for the FOC setting? It does not appear to be adjustable. Like you can't like turn down how violent is FOC. Let's see. Still. I kid you not. I so want to take this tap over there and just hit it on the disc sander and grind flats in it because it is the Chuck grabbed that drill bit so hard that I couldn't get the drill bit back out. But this tap. There we go. We're doing it. Okay, I got okay, let's see if we can do it again. On a Fusion, you're only going to be concerned with maybe 5 settings. Yeah, 100%. After 8 years of spending 2 hours a day in the car, I can now walk to work. That's awesome. I walk to work every day. It's pretty close. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, we're gonna see. God, there's just metal everywhere. There's just metal everywhere. It's great. I love this stuff. So it's definitely not the tap. The tap is still send it back to Bosch. It is really hard to get that thing to grab. This thing is like 2 years old, but my God, does it get used? My God, does it get used? Well, we got 2. There we go. Okay. I apologize. The mic might cut out. I don't know. That's here's my accumulation. This is how you do it at home, kids. When you need to clean up your shavings, this is how what you can reward yourself with is a sensation where you go, ow, and there's like metal embedded under your skin, and you can use a razor knife to pick it out, or you can just wait until your body either absorbs it or rejects it. That's how we tend to operate around here on any given daily basis. This finger, there's something metal in there somewhere, like a real fine hair of metal. It's not awesome. That looks like self-tapping screws going into wood. I'm gonna get the links put back on here. So this is what it's like more often than not when there's no cameras on. This is like if I was were I not here with y'all right now, I would this is exactly what I would be doing. I almost did it. I almost put that link in upside down. I will say that. Oh, got it. Yeah. Those are tight. Those are really, really tight. I always use a bit of anti-seize when inserting steel screws into aluminum threads. That's a good idea. I got one of them weird Milwaukee installation drivers. It's awesome for RC stuff. If you're already invested in the Red Army, I'd pick one up. Yeah, that's how they get you, isn't it? Ecosystem, that's how they get you. Why am I still using Bosch? Because, oh, I know what I did. There it is. I went in too far. There it is. These guys, which is just 3 18650s in a little holster. I have so many of these. So many. I can't get out from under. I can't. I'm stuck on Bosch. And now I have a handful of Bosch tools that use the 18 volt. Like I have my all-purpose drill, my drill that I recommend. If you only have one drill around the house to just do basic stuff, it's this, because it's not super heavy. I wish with all of my might and force that this chuck was on here, because this is a proper chuck. This is basically the same driver, just in like 18 volt mode. It's more than enough. Would I use it to build houses? No, but you know, usually it's your in-laws asking you if you can hang another painting in their house, or mirror, or you name it. What I'm saying is I get asked to hang things up a lot. If someone from the canyon comes to my house to rock crawl, I will give them a junk build to take home. Hey, somebody should take him up on that offer. If you come here to rock crawl, understand and realize that there's a very strong chance that we're going to end up messing with your rig. Like I tell anybody with a Phoenix, if you show up here with a Phoenix, you're going to end up with a custom hinge pin. It's not optional. We're gonna make a custom hinge pin for your Phoenix body, and we're gonna send you away with it. Which way do these go? Because that's what I do. And then I'll make yours better than I make mine, and then I'll lose mine, and then I'll have to, and then I won't make myself new ones. It's the old contractor thing. Every contractor has an unfinished kitchen. I only have one rig here on a Phoenix body that has a custom-made pin at the front of the body. Yet I send people out of here with them all the time. And then I think to make myself one, I go, I'll do it now. I'll do it later. Okay. Yeah, okay. I got a message from our guy over at Zoku. He was surprised to see my rig on Deadline already. It's not like it's that hard to put them together. I mean, that guy should know. You know, the guy that bought 2 optics and still hasn't driven either of them. That guy. Don't get me started on that guy. What is your go-to drywall anchor? Okay. Drywall anchors is not something that you think you would be like particular to. You just use whatever you have. No Fordyce hinge. There has only ever been one Fordyce here, and it's the guy giving away junk rigs. His was here, and then drove and then left with it. And I don't know. I probably made a pin for it. So they had these at the Lowe's probably about 10 years ago. Cobra triple grips. I bought every box they had. Like, as you can see, this one is barely touched. This is probably the 5th or 6th box that I've gone through. This is hands down my favorite drywall anchor because it does the like triple expansion. The middle part like twists, like those twist open. It pulls that back, and then they're so good. They're so good, and they come with the drill bit. I'm still hanging stuff in my in-laws' house today with these Cobra triple grips from Canada. If you can still get them, get them. They're so good. What happens when I run out? I don't know. I don't know. Something. We're going to put... We're going to see if this fits. I have no idea what drive shaft that is. Yeah, this will fit. Do they then match? Oh, nice. Nice. I'm trying to turn the gearbox with nothing attached to it because I'm a lunatic. Can you make a custom hinge pin so I can put the Fordyce cab on a YSR GT? Yeah. Yeah. Sure. It's the same thing. Mount's the same as a Phoenix. Boink. Ooh, I didn't even check to see if these are phased. Yes. Oh. No, that is the right length. It's the perfect length. This is how I favor a drive shaft. If to get your drive shaft on and off, you have to disconnect a shock and a link. That is the correct length drive shaft, as far as I'm concerned. In my humble opinion, because it means that you have very little chance of it ever falling off on you. I like a drive shaft that will just go to full compression. This is just a hair too long. We got to grind that down. So we'll grind that down. Don't let me forget. You know what I'll do? I won't put a screw in it so that it won't drive the rear wheels. That's how I'll remember. But we're going to put the rest of it back together. If I can find the screws to put it back together. There they are. Did chat go quiet? Did I go quiet? Oh, we're still here. Could we know the lengths again? Of what? What lengths of what? Can you put some pictures of your custom pin on Discord so I can copy it? Okay. Eddie! I think I just made Eddie a pin. Ed, where's Eddie? Yeah. Okay. Eddie's got the newest pin. It's not a proper live stream unless we fill the bench with rigs. So all I do is 5mm steel, and then I like these what are these washers? What are these washers called? And then I put 2 of those because then it's something to grab on. It's got a 2mm hole for the thing. It's just 5mm rod. That's it. From flat, so from the part against the chassis, from flat to the hole is 81mm. Now, that's on a Zoku. So it'll be a little bit different on a C channel because the aluminum is thicker. But this is the basic. You know what? I should mount Eddie's camper body somewhere, but you know what? I don't know where his body is. I can't find it. It's in this building somewhere, but I can't find it. Did I hook it? Yeah. Let's leave him sitting right there. He's not taking up that much space. Stop fighting me. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's basically it's a bitty design, so it's not licensed in any way. But I would say that it's definitely an F-150. It's definitely an F-150. And props to them all over at Bitty Design, because the fitment, like, it comes with the holes to mount the cage. Because it's on a Zoku, I had to trim a little bit out of the little middle box. It mounts just like a Phoenix. It's a little snug right now because it hasn't quite learned where... There it goes. Getting those middle pins to drop in. There we go. But yeah, mounts exactly like a Phoenix, and can't fault and full interior, which I gotta paint that too. Mounts the front exact same way, but your clearances are much better. Like if you're still on the VS410 C channels, your clearance will be amazing. If it can clear Phoenix stuff, it's gonna clear C channels easily. We've almost got them put back together. I hope it's going on what you are making. Oh no, that's body's hidden. The body that I haven't selected, the body that I don't know yet, is our third Pro build Wow, that seemed like it. That seemed like it went on for too long. Oh, we can put the front drive shaft together though because we know it's the right length. Yeah, the rear. That must be why. It's the usual Canyon stuff. So the front drive shaft is just the right length to go on, and this rear drive shaft is the matching one of that. So it was definitely the one that's supposed to be on here, and then I was probably trying to get the video finished, and the rear drive shaft was too long, and I was like, I'll just throw this thing on there, and then never changed it out. So he's got some more silvery bits. It's a nice piece. It's a pretty nice piece. All of his silver bits were very inexpensive. Very, very inexpensive. Yeah, that drive shaft is way too long. It stops compression right there. That is true. No body killed Tupac. Oh, take the body off. Pull the pin. Yeah. It's nice. Interior. I think I put it back where all the body bits are. Yeah. There we go. We're just clogging up the joint. Can you get the Estate Proline body with skylight kind of things? What? What? I'm going to build a 1969 bump side F-250. Gonna need to look up a good Leaf build. Like, I mean, what do you want to get out of your Leaf build? I guess is the short question to that. Like that, what's that dude down in LA that's doing the crazy VS410 Leaf stuff? Can't remember what it is. Twisted Scale Fab Co. Something like that. Yeah, that stuff is ridiculous. But I mean, FMS will get you there for cheap. Hey, Psycho Garage, $5. Now that money I will blow on coffee. That's a soft. Yeah. I forget that they're 3D printed in here. I think they're all YZZRs, and there are definitely fronts and rears. I'm making slightly more of a mess than usual. Have you tried the drywall hopper and mortar Portland yet? I have not. Someone said, I can't remember if they said it here or if they said it in the Discord. They said that Portland or mortar mix would wear out the nozzle in the hopper really fast. Like they're way too abrasive. And that makes sense. Because drywall, texture, when you're shooting texture, it's basically pancake batter. So yeah, if you mixed sand in with your pancake batter, it's gonna do some stuff. Doesn't mean I don't still want to do it. I've got an off-brown bug body with motor in the back for the current build. Not for performance, more for scale. Yeah, I put the FMS. Oh man, never even mentioned it in a video. Didn't mention it in anything. Okay, let me put. So this guy's good. He got his piece installed there. We'll have to mush him around here coming up. We'll have to do something. Everybody thinks they want leaf springs till they get them. Tumbledore is already turning into Crumbledore. Yeah, it's got holes in it. Mr. C, I bought a couple days ago all the parts I needed to build my hardbody scale truck, 3-door Jeep, 250, 2 mil, 100 millimeters. Can't wait to build this Christmas. Yeah. Everybody thinks they want leafs. And then the reality of leaf sets in. And it is really something you've got to embrace, man. Like, it is, I'm all for, voluntary limitations. Like don't make everything a line killer, right? But my God, leafs are a problem. And then you go one step further, which is like the twisted scale fab thing. they're trying to get Leafs like as ridiculously capable as possible, at which point you're just like, would it not have been easier and more efficient to just 4-link this? So I don't know how I feel about it. There's something about the novelty of super capable Leaf setups, but at the same time, I mean, it's definitely not the easy way to do it. What are the softest Traxxas springs? My brain wants to say yellow band, I want to say, but I can tell you exactly what their rate is. The softest Traxxas are yellow. They are 1.27 pounds. So that's not super soft, but in Traxxas terms, that's very soft. Your next step below that is, I want to say, axial whites. Yes, axial whites are what are those for? Oh, those are the longer ones. The next step would be element whites, 0.95. That gets you under a pound. So I, as a matter of fact, you know what? Why did I look it up? Because Traxxas, I don't know what Traxxas is using. I don't know what their frame of reference is. The 8042s are the yellows. That's 1.27. And then element whites are ASC 42088, which are 0.95. They are basically the exact same. These are obviously intended for Sandy, because Sandy keeps getting lighter, and I still haven't changed springs yet. We will at some point. Oh, okay. Incompleted thought. Yes, there is a spring checksum on the CC spreadsheet. I would think Leaf would be a little harder to tune, much harder to tune, and you also have no control over your pinion angle. They usually come with 3 nozzles, and replacements are $11 at Home Depot. My hopper gun, if the rubber piece that goes between the hopper and the gun is 30 years old, if that rubber piece hasn't disintegrated yet, so it might be the perfect subject for it. Sorry, I had to do my day job. Did I miss anything? No. Did anybody else splurge and spend $400 on Black Friday set at Horizon Hobby? I don't get paid until the 21st of every month. So, no. I did not spend any money at Horizon. It has to be something particularly enticing to get me to put it on the advance money. And I try as I may, and I try as I might to absolutely minimize advance money. I try to only use that money which I actually already have. So I would have loved to, but luckily this year, Black Friday, I get paid right before Black Friday. So I got fingers crossed, man. I want to buy something. I'm in that itchy want to buy something kind of mood. And the only things I have in my save for later at A-Main are the Upgrade RC double cardons for 10 Pro and Air 45. That's all I have right now. Oh, and a body for this. Well, space for a body. I haven't picked a body yet. I don't know. I'll take some of those heavier Traxxas springs. I've got like 12, 14. I've got a 12 to 14 pound TRX4. Yeah, I got a lot. A lot. Are there small spring options for high trail shocks? I don't know. Okay. So here's a high trail. And not just a high trail. How about like brand new, hasn't even been taken apart yet. Let's see. So in the 10 mil springs, I know that we can get out to like 50s. 50s or 55s. Let's see, would that be long enough? Yes, there absolutely are. Yeah. If you buy the 115 Dravtex, those would be just about the perfect length. And they come in oh, yes. I might have pointed this out in a video, I might not have. The longer length chavs like the oil slicks that are on Wolverine, or the orange ones that used to be on him. These right here. Zoop. They come in 4 different spring rates instead of the 2 spring rates that are in regular chavs. You have 1 pound, 1.5 pound, 1.7 pound, and 2 pound. So you have quite a few options on the long one. So yes, you can indeed chav a high trail. Hey. We learned a thing together because my God, that is, what are these? Clears. That's absurd. It's like 2.5 pound. I mean, Traxxas. I mean, I know those big bodies. You put that big, like, F-150 or whatever on that thing's getting heavy. But yes, you can chav a high trail. Have I told you that I've had to rebuild 2 of my 4 desert lizards as 2 are leaking? Guess who probably pinched a seal in 5 spots while building them? Could you do the 2 thumb thing and be like this? Who has 2 thumbs and pinched all of his desert lizard seals? This guy? Yeah, I've been there. Did somebody say this is shiny? This is a 10 Pro. This is a completely fresh built, never touched a rock 10 Pro. This was the swap out for Legs. Legs went off to live on a farm. Not really. He went to live in Simi Valley, California. He went to live in the valley, bro. Oh, he lives in the valley now. So he went to live in the valley, and he was traded for this because I had this. So we'll go to 2. So we've got Z Pro. Sliders for the Z Pro. We've got big old lickety quick SA75 CVSW V2. That's a 0.07 second servo. We've got a 7 kg to set up to do variable OD. We've got a Fusion 12 hundo. We've got a receiver, an opinion, and probably wheels and tires. I have not really selected. We have quite a number of options, so we have any number of things to put on him there. But the first thing is to pull, and I want to run it because I wanted to know. Here's the thing. Yes, AGFRC. Yes, indeed. That is one of my favorite servos of all time, the SA75 from AGFRC. Train of thought gone. Oh, so I was very impressed with the Zoku Pro on Bluebird. Very impressed. But I scooched him skid forward by basically moving the front axle back and then the rear axle back the other way. So he's sitting on a 330 wheelbase. His skid is closer to the front than it is the rear. We kind of fudged him skid forward. This is a 10 Pro. No portals, none of that stuff. And beyond even that, built CMS. So we're gonna try it CMS. I have all the parts to convert it to SOA if need be. But we're definitely gonna try this thing CMS. I want to know because I did not like this. When I built the kit and ran it, I was like, yeah. And then we put it up against a stock stance, and a stock stance smacked it around. And that was kind of when I started really liking the 10 Pro. Because the 10 Pro is, I can fix her, man. I can fix her. So there's a lot of problems with this. And I can fix them. But I want to know how much of an improvement is this on a completely stock 10 Pro, which this is completely stock. And we might as well chassis mounted servo it. Why not? You cheated Bluebird out. I did. That's the thing. So he's not a direct comparison. He's too good because he's got all the bits. Like he's semi skid for or not. I don't know. That's why we got to build this guy with this. And he will have a bird name. He has to. All the pros are going to be birds. And there's so many birds. Do you know how many birds there are? So many birds. He could be red bird. He could be black bird. He could be any kind of bird. And we're going to figure out a body. And there's got to be something. Like, I think I have all the J Concepts bodies. So it can't be that. We gotta find something. Is it just a cab? I don't think so. I don't think the 10 Pro is cab centric, because a cab would end right about here, and then the whole back end of the gearbox would be hanging out past the back of the cab. Yeah, Mockingbird. And yes, toucan is how you call it. Wait, what do you call a toucan in Spanish? What is Espanol for toucan? I vote for Great Tit. J-Con has a new S10. Oh. Ooh. Blue-footed booby. Oh, man. You'd have to get blue rims, though. To get blue-footed booby, you'd have to have blue rims. So toucan in Spanish is toucan? Come on. You just drop an O. So you're like the British with E's, but they're adding E's, or aluminium, where they just add a syllable. Toucan is toucan. I'm offended. Toucan is toucan. Ooh. Just gray him all out. Everything gray. Just full gunmetal. Gunmetal wheels, gunmetal body. Replace all of his accessories with gunmetal and just pigeon. Just full pigeon. But yeah, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. Like, this is not a workbench series type of video. Blue wheels and an anime girl rap. Oh my gosh. You only work on it when the clock chimes. Good old Cuckoo. Oh, hey! "17 after the hour" is when he comes out. Is that 6? 7? 8? Okay, so he's 6 hours and 17 minutes off. Oh, cuckoo clock. We need a swap meet cuckoo clock expert to figure out why that guy doesn't know what time it is. Because boy, does he not know what time it is. He just went off. It might have been 8. I might have missed the first one. He might be 7 hours off. We're going to even run 10 Pro shocks. Now, we might flip them upside down to keep the oil in them. It sounds like somebody's running an electric scooter up and down the neighbor's driveway. Or was that real noise? You know what we do? We don't organize anything. Yardbird. I almost feel like I want to find out what that is. The neighbor kid does have one of those little, No, I gotta find out. It looks like a tiny, like, pit bike, but it's electric. Now I don't see anything. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, there's nothing out there now. Oh. It definitely gets mentioned in I think I talk about it in member show. So this is the body. This is the body that came on the 10 Pro. I mean, it's something, isn't it? Like, that is something. Somebody went all in and all out on that. We'll just there goes that. What is that noise? He's losing his mind. That's the screw that I swore I put in wrong on mine and made Rainbird. Why is that one screw not also a 10? Why is that not a 10? There's a lot of 10s. I realized part of the way through, and it's probably too late, but I realized part of the way through I was doing it wrong again. Because you really need to take off one side at a time. Because if you just start taking all the screws off, the thing rapidly falls apart. Yeah. Someday, I will paint something better than just purple. Oh, Franco! Off to bed. I've heard cuckoo clocks can be sent to Switzerland for repair. That cuckoo clock, a buddy of mine paid $1 for at a swap meet, and it's made mostly out of expanding foam. Like, that's like molded into the shape of a cuckoo clock. Not that we don't love it. Like, it's part of the family. He just got a battery change, so he'll be with us for another decade at least. I wanted to take that body home, but I don't like the 10 Pro body. There it is. Summarized. We already have one that basically runs a cut-up 10 Pro body. I don't want to run another 10 Pro body. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find somebody with a 10 Pro, and we're gonna give them that if they want it. I'm gonna be like, hey, how do you feel about this 10 Pro body? And they're going to be like, man, that's pretty okay. And I'll be like, it's yours. The motto of the Canyon is, that's gone. The motto of the Canyon is, well, that's gone. Is yours for the cost of shipping. That's how we roll around here. Ooh, look at that. The thing I haven't had to deal with before. Panard. Another poor, homeless 10 Pro rail. 2 sets now. 10 Pro body or U-Tron, you have to pick one. Ugh. Ugh. That is really the punch in the balls, punch in the face type of situation. I'll take 10 Pro, I guess. The U-Tron is ghastly. Just ghastly. Oh, Miata Commuter asked, did the special tires arrive? Not only did they arrive, but let me say this. I mounted them. And while mounted, they are more ridiculous than you could ever imagine. They are absolutely absurd. Okay, so I could have sworn he said that he made it to where these line up. But that is not the case. Okay. Yeah. Did I grab the... Yeah, these are the right rails. These are the right rails. Okay. Yeah, if you want to talk about differences in geo, look at that. I mean, like, wow. So I'm gonna screw these body mounts on just because, but the chances of these lining up with whatever body goes on it is pretty low. And honestly, I just don't want to put another tucked on it. Is that wrong? I have like all the tucks. A ridiculous 2.2. My friend, not a ridiculous 2.2. The most ridiculous 2.2 you can conceive. That will be filmed shortly. I thought they might be difficult to mount. They weren't bad. Well, because I put them on those carbons, you know, with the 6 pins. Those make pretty much every tire super easy to mount because you can just tuck the lip in around the pins and you never have a bead pop out on those. Particularly if you're working on a tire as weird as that one. So they went it went together with a surprising ease. Oh, we got to do Panard. Do a Rustler 4x4 body on the front. That wouldn't be too bad, honestly. The fun part will be, how many screws am I going to get wrong while putting this back together? And if your answer is a lot, then you're probably right. Oh, yes. Zoku for 10 Pro. Zoku Pro. Z Pro. Yeah, I've already forgotten what's... No, this is a 10. This is a 10. I was like, I've already forgotten which one goes where. Nope, that's a 12. That's a 12. Or I had an 8 in my hand. Nope, that's a 10. That's gone. We'll just get the thing out. The one time I had the laptop out, well, Jake, when it's vacuum from your own body, don't think I haven't thought of it. Come on, come on. Yeah, there are some definite differences here. That. I've never done a swap. I built him up. 8s and 10s do look the same. Okay, that was that big ass long one. That is so long. That's a 16. I'm putting a 14 in it. I don't want to rainbird this guy too. I started building a vacuum former over a year ago. I just finally broke down and threw away the parts of trying to build a vacuum former like 10 years ago. When I came to that realization that, well, like, this isn't going to happen. By the way, Mr. C, I know I'm teasing you about making me buy a TRX4, but I've been wanting one for ages as I need something that will let me abuse it. You know, mud and water. That's the then you got the perfect rig for it. They are built to be beaten on. See what I'm telling you? No matter what you do, that thing rubs. I'm going to fix it myself. I'm going to take that mount and I'm going to grind it down and I'm going to slide that. I'm either going to grind that mount down or I'm going to slide this back. It rubs. Oh my God. Like they got the axles so right. And then like the transmission is so stupid. Like it's unforgivable how dumb this gearbox is. The FMM for no reason at all. Do we need a gearbox that from spur to tail is 185 millimeters long just to have switchable overdrive. A VFD is like this long. This is a 10 Pro gearbox. I think you could put 2 TRX4 gearboxes end to end in the same amount of space as this thing. It's ridiculous. And is it an FMM if it's horrible. Horrible. Now, I only have one screw in the motor mount, so maybe it's at a little bit of an angle. Let's see. No, it's not. It's not at a little bit of an angle. I think it's because the screws are still on the other side. So I do have to just contraption it and take the whole thing apart. Those 16s don't seem right. The 16s seem less right because we've got some we got a little bit of bulging. That might have been a little bit, let's see. Still rubbing like crazy. And now there's one screw in the servo mount. Just so dumb. So dumb. Driver 8, I mean, kind of summed it up. Very clever, but stupid. There's that thing, what is it? Somebody can be intelligent, but dumb. Does that make sense, right? Axial, clever, but stupid. That is spot on. Clever, but stupid. Some of the decisions are just... This thing that holds the servo on is basically, it's retained to the chassis by the 2 screws here, but it's only attached to the gearbox by this, like... So when you have a servo in there that is going to be under some force, right? This is what attaches the OD servo to the gearbox. That's the only thing holding them together. And it's plastic into plastic. That's what? M2x6? What are we doing? What are we doing? My favorite George Carlin has to be, with regard to driving, I think about it every time I'm on the freeway, which is everybody driving slower than me is a moron and everybody driving faster than me is a maniac. It's absolutely true. Driver 8 is on fire. Worked with some people who are absolute geniuses but would be dead if breathing weren't reflexive. Man, that's very good. I enjoy that a great deal. There's a person at your workshop. I don't know who that is. There's people moving around outside. You know what? Let's just do what we always do. Just take all the screws out. I work real close to the edge of the bench. Yeah, there you go. That's a little better. You can see the stupidity that he's into a little bit easier. All right. Just take all the screws out. It's an axial. It would never be critical the length of fastener you're using, right? Yeah, Mr. Spain stayed up pretty good for a guy that was, sick. Hopefully the next base camp they fix some shite. They'll just move on to something else. Like, you have to remember, Axial calls the base camp a 10-3. Just on record, there's not that much in common. It's a little bit in common, but there's not that much in common. This goes this way. So, okay. All right. Any Washington crawlers here? You guys have real weather. You guys have real weather, and y'all can keep that. I don't want none of that mess. I like our fake weather down here. Our complete lack of seasons. Oh my God, the course is just leaves. So many leaves. Before I go out to do concrete in the morning, I'm probably going to have to rake leaves for 2 hours. It's going to be great. I don't mind raking leaves, you know? You put on the music, and it's very zen. And it checks those boxes, man. There's nothing worse than working of whatever type, being engaged, and then when you get done, you can't tell that anything happened. Like you feel like you just wasted a whole day. When you rake, raking is ultimately satisfying because when you get done, you look and you go, it's clean. It's clean now. I raked. I moved all those leaves to another place. There's somebody else's problem now. So I'm a raking guy. People talk about shower thoughts. I have the raking thoughts. I have some of my best ideas for obstacles. Oh, I have a blower. Yeah. Well, I won't be able to use it tomorrow morning. It rained for 25 minutes. So all the leaves are going to be stuck together in a clump. But wait, down here. But it won't be dusty. And raking without dust, raking the day after a rain, oh, it's the best. It's the best. Because we don't get slugs here. We don't have slugs. If you live in other places in the world, I have to assume the Pacific Northwest people get slugs. We don't get slugs. We rarely get snails. This is a desert, baby. This is the desert. Oh, some questions. How many axials does it take to screw in a light bulb axial? What's a light bulb? Can iron sides fit that new big fusion? Yes. Any TRX4 will be able to fit it. Yes. Wait, let me go back to here. Yes, any TRX4. Ever had any issues with the radio link switches not working? I have channel 5 set to switch D, no response. Tested the servo and the other channel switches and they're working. No, I have not. I have not. Switch D is this one, right? Woohoo! Yeah. Sorry, that one. No. I have not. I have not. $50 radio. Open it up. See if they. Quick test. Quick test. If you have it near you, do that. Does it light up? If it doesn't light up, maybe a wire fell off. Troubleshoot it. You don't get snails, you get spiders. Baby, we get all the spiders. So many spiders. Maybe an Australia level of spiders. I have to clean up the leaves and cut weeds for 3 hours before I can play on the weekends. Yeah. Downwind? Oh, Mr. Scrivener, you've got to come to Southern California sometime where the wind possesses the magical ability to blow in all directions all at the same time. Like the wind will be coming from one direction for 30 seconds and then it will shift and blow another way. And there's that thing about being a human being and having the aerodynamics of a human being. So I'm raking and I'm not holding a boombox over my head and the wind is coming from my back. So what happens is the wind does that thing where it wraps around you, grabs all the dust, swirls it up into your face. So then the wind is coming at you from the front now and you think, I'm good. So then the wind gets the dust and swirls it up and it goes right in your face. Wind from the side, dust right in your face. It doesn't matter what direction you're facing. It doesn't matter where you are. The dust is going to go directly into your face. And it's wonderful. I know that I've had many a bicycle ride back in the days when bicycle rides dominated my days, where you ride west directly into the wind, turn and ride south directly into the wind, turn and ride east, again, directly into the wind. And if you're lucky, maybe heading north, you might not get the wind in your face, but you probably will. Do a circular ride with a headwind the whole time. So you cash it in every once in a while, and you get a ride where the wind favors you. But usually not. Usually it just punishes you. I can't say I've ever seen a slug in Phoenix. Well, no, slugs don't like the desert. I have a residual SCX-10.3 front axle and a Mias SCX-10.2 front axle. Will those work for a four-wheel steer? Yeah. Why not? Yeah, sure. So long as one of them has the ability, so long as you can either run a reverse gear in one. Oh, yeah. So long as you can either run a reverse gear in one or flip the ring and pinion in one. One or the other. Either will work. I think you'll probably have to go reverse gear because those should both be high pinion. 10.2 and 10.3 are both high pinion. So you'll need to get an 830 reverse. If you can get scrap granite or slick rock cheaply, it makes entertaining obstacles. Living in Florida, limestone is a crawler's kryptonite. Looks and feels grippy until tires hit it. Yeah. We don't have limestone. Lights up but doesn't stay lit. Do you have it on... Okay, so when you go to channel selection... I went the wrong way. Aux. I'm thinking, okay. So I have channel 5 set to lock D. So if you have channel 5 sent to SWID, like this, you won't even be able to see it. See, it stays on, let it go, it's off. On, off. Lock, on, stays on, off, stays off. So one is a momentary, and the other one is a 2 position. So it's going to depend on how you have it set. But it lighting up means that it works. So if you've tried other things on it, that's the question mark now. Is torque twist common in enduros? Kind of. Particularly in SEs, because all the drive shafts are just in a straight line. So it is my estimation that what that can contribute to torque twist is, look at our perfectly symmetrical drive line. Both of these drive shafts are turning the same direction, which means they're turning the ring and pinions basically the same direction. So you get that where it wants to lean. But unless your torque twist is lifting a wheel off the ground or causing you to, when you're ascending this way, if it wants to really throw a tire in the air and you can do it with throttle, it's usually not a problem. Geometry can clean up a lot of it. So it's really a combination of the two. Like Baseline will do this. He'll just sink the corner of his bed a little under acceleration. But when he's climbing, he doesn't pull his wheels up because his geometry is such that he doesn't twist. And he is completely stock geometry. All the OE, the holes on it. So they can, but I should have said this first. Mr. Simpson, torque twist more often than not isn't. Torque twist more often than not tends to be like you've got a little thin wafer hex. Back to 2. You've got a thin little wafer hex like this, and you put a wheel on it where the SLW is too deep, and that is now rubbing on that. It's interference more than anything. Because what you can do is take all 4 wheels off, set it on a bench, and give it throttle so it's just sitting on its axles and see if anything is actually leaning. Because more often than not, torque twist actually turns out to be mechanical interference. It has nothing to do with the drivetrain at all. 99 times out of 100. Twist is often like somebody keeps commenting, complaining in the comments that the UA1 has the worst torque twist they've ever seen. Well, mine doesn't have any at all. Like the body barely moves. Wolverine runs super soft springs, super soft. His whole cage leans all the way over to the side when he's driving. But that doesn't matter. That's not actually torque twist. That's because he's sprung so slightly and he has really heavy damping in the shocks that his cage rolls and then it just stays there. It's not actually affecting the handling of the vehicle at all. He doesn't. Torque twist pulls a tire into the air. And if you're not pulling tire into the air, you don't have torque twist. It's just being categorized as such. It's so weird for me because I want to put my hands here, which is this camera. Like I know where this is mentally, but then I go down here and I haven't quite figured out where this one aims. And then we won't even talk about this one because I can't get the color balance on this one right. That's not the color I am. I look like an alien. So, yeah. Torque twist is only a problem when it's a problem. Tried switching models on the radio. Also, make sure if you've set up to nautical, if you've set up any kind of mixing at all, make sure that there isn't more than one thing assigned to the mix for channel 5 or switch D, alternately to switch D, because boy have I done that. have I set up 2 channels to the same thing? Yes I have. Did it not work? It did not. So, yes, it is definitely possible. Oh, okay. This might self-correct because I just realized he's got more kick in the skid. So I think when I was trying to force this together with less kick in the skid, I might have been causing some of these problems myself. Let's just throw some screws in it. On the subject of radios, that radio you just reviewed, the cheap but good one, did you know they do a B variant with knobs? Yes, they do a B variant with knobs. It is, Erwin sent me the link to that one on AliExpress. I don't know anything about it. It looks to be exactly the same, just with 2 knobs on it. The degree, how much mixing you can do, again, I don't know. The one that he linked me to was also very inexpensive. I want to say it was €19, which is pretty cheap. It's about $30. It's pretty cheap. I found the problem. Channels 5, 6, and 7 on my receiver aren't working. I put the switch on channel 3 and now it works. There you go. The good thing about that is there's a third camera. Next you tell me there's a 4th dimension. I was just explaining to one of my kids that we, and by we, I mean us folk of more advanced years, that we've been lied to. Remember there was a movie, it had the Bruce Willis in it, and I see dead people. The Sixth Sense, right? Do you know how many senses we actually have? There's like 22 or 23 main senses. And I was trying to explain this to one of the kids, and they were like, wait, what? And I was like, if I hand you something and I set it in your hand, can you tell if it's hot or cold? And they go, yeah. And I go, that's a sense. You can sense the difference between hot and cold. If I turned you upside down, would you be able to tell that you were upside down? And they go, well, yeah. And I go, that's a sense too. I said, there are senses that we don't have. Human beings can't sense wet. We can only sense the differential in temperature. That's how you can cut yourself and not notice it, and then just go, oh my God, there's blood everywhere. Because the blood is the same temperature that you are. So you don't notice that it's coming out of you because you can't sense when things are wet. So if they could get water, if you could heat water to the exact temperature of the outside of your body, which would be, it is currently 62 in the building, and I am, usually around 85, so I'm 83 and a half, 82, 83 and a half. If you were to heat water to exactly the temperature of my skin and dip me in it, I wouldn't be able to feel it because we can't feel wet. What? How do we not feel wet? But it's true, because you have to, you have to have gotten to that thing where, like, a glass of water has been sitting out and you go to pick it up and it's an old glass of water, so you don't care. So you do that. I'm looking for something that looks like a cylinder. Cylinder. So you do the thing. This is a cylinder. So this isn't full of candle, it's full of water. And you pick it up like this, right? And your finger goes right in the water and you don't feel it. You don't know. And then you go, what the? You ever been wet and not notice that you were wet? It's because you can't feel wet. That's the one that kills me. So yeah, we have all these senses, whether we're up or down. You can tell, you can feel if we're accelerating or standing still, right? That's a sense. I stuck my finger directly in that candle and I could feel it. And now the room smells strongly of I was doing it again, of frosted woodland pine. Yeah, you know, it's nice. It's nice. It is, however, really under my fingernails now. So I'm very waxy now. Does Vanquish sell a plastic third member or those hoops that hold the spool? They do. They do. And it's in a thing of parts. Let me see how fast I can find it. Okay, there's the Portal one. I assume they also do it for a straight axle. If you need the hoops, VPS 08606. Vanquish Products F10 Portal Axle Components. That includes, now, the thing is, the straight axle and the portal axle are the same as far as third members go. So the only thing that you wouldn't be using, why do they not do a straight axle components? I guess they don't. Maybe they do. One's not coming up. You can buy the whole, oh, that's how they do it. So if you want to get just separate third members and hoops, it is 08606. If you don't want the extra portal pieces, you have to buy the whole straight axle. Oh, no, that's the whole straight axle. No, you don't want that. No, it looks like that's the only way to get it. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. Please correct me. Make sure that I'm not wrong. Make sure I'm wrong. Dip the gears in frosted woodland pine. I have a drawer over there by the drill press that typically, to lube up a drill bit, I just take a cheap dollar store candle and I go and like just rub it against the bit, and then, because for woodworking we tend to use wood. With wood you use wax for lubing your bits. And when you open that drawer, it's delightful. It's like a eucalyptus scent in that drawer forever, because it's had nothing but dollar store candles in it. Wet paint usually feels cold. Yeah, well, because it's not hot. If the wet paint felt hot, small cause for concern. It's funny that we can't sense the wet thing. This discussion we've had with our oldest, the liquid pusher, not long ago. Yeah, you can't feel wet. I get travel sick. My movement sense is broken. That's an inner ear thing, from what I understand. Just like vertigo. And what's the other one? Migraines. Migraines are often inner ear thing as well. If anybody, they just need to figure out tinnitus for me so they can stop that. So years of youthful indiscretion don't sound like ringing for the rest of my life, but I'm just coming to grips with the fact that I'm going to hear ringing for the rest of my life. Well, what choice do I have? Come to grips with hearing the ringing or lose my mind? I guess those are the two choices. I'm eating chocolate and raisins. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not an enemy of either. But like, if someone were to say to me, would you like some Raisinets? I would say, what else have you got? Just, if truths are being told, I'll eat them, but because of the chocolate, not because of the raisin. I'm I'm not on board with Raisinets for the raisins. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There we go. So it was just two geometries together. Maybe we'll be all right. Cadbury's Fruit and Nut Bar. I had another long one with one of the kids about how our fish wet. Is a fish wet? Because a fish lives under the water, so its normal state of being is quote unquote wet. So when something is always wet, is it wet? And these are the moments when the wife rolls her eyes and walks out of the room. She's like, ugh. My wife discovered the best thing ever, and she uses this to great effect. If anyone's wife is in earshot of this discussion and they use this against them in the future, I apologize. My wife, we saw something, it was probably in an episode of 30 Rock where they were talking about how, the women have smooth brains, right? Less folds, the smooth brains. It was a reason to like keep women out of positions of power, or this, we would say, the men of the time would say that women's brains had less folds in them. So, AKA smooth brains. So my wife now has weaponized that and uses it to her advantage with extreme efficiency, which is I will be discussing something or trying to present a problem to her, and she will look me dead in the face and go, oh, my brain is too smooth. I can't comprehend that. And just walk away. And she uses it to get out of everything. All the time. And I'm a little bit jealous. I'm kind of jealous. I want to get out of stuff. Which is like, oh, my brain is too smooth for that. It's totally not too smooth for that. Gotta go work on the 1-1. Oh, that sounds like work. I have crazy tinnitus thanks to heavy antibiotics, and I got hearing aids with like white noise stuff to block it out. It works a little, but not great. Bonus is better hearing. Oh. Yeah, Schrodinger's goldfish. What if there were no hypothetical questions, man? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought, like, what if there were no hypothetical questions? We are the repressed. I want to get out of things. I don't want to do things. Whoops. Got a little anxious there. Oh. Dang. That weather app is getting crazy, man. It's the AI. It's the AIs. That's what it's got to be. Because that thing said, rain starting at 3 o'clock. It's 2:57. And I can hear it hitting the roof. That's pretty good. It won't be long before those. Well, that's the thing. Here's a hypothetical for you. We're getting well into the introspective portion of the program. Okay. So, an artificial intelligence model can basically only work off of what it's been given. So, can an artificial intelligence model get smarter than the people that are programming it? Because it can only get so smart. It can only be presented with so much information, right? It only has the depth and breadth of human information. And most humans are idiots. So, how smart can an AI get? We do what we're told, though. Yeah, we do. I think he started on like TikTok. There's a kid whose dad is probably like in his early 50s. And the kid does this thing called Ask a Gen X, where he goes and asks his dad stuff. And his dad has a great answer about it. He goes, Mom did that thing wrong and then yelled at you about it. And you just took it. And he's all, why would you do that? And the dad goes, because I'm old enough to realize that I can be one of two things. I can be happy or I can be right. And I choose happy. And I was like, my God, if you want a statement on manhood, I guess, mankind, there it is. I can be happy or I can be right, and I choose happy. Because most every argument that you'll get into with a partner, spouse, what have you, kind of comes down to that. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? The Matrix smart? I don't know. It's supposed to snow for me in the San Diego County mountains. Wild, right? Mr. Peters, how wild is that? Because I don't know about down there North County way, but up here, like 2 days ago, it was 80 degrees. And the high today is 56. So we did that seasonal change that we do here in Southern California, where one day it's summer and then the next day it's not. Yeah, we were still running the swamp cooler the week before Halloween. That was 2 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden it's all cold and whatnot. Don't ask a boomer the wrong question. The Matrix smart? How did the Matrix get smarter than the people? The real question of the Matrix, though, is like how much time had actually passed. I think. No, probably easier. Oh, we got to put that one. Okay. All right. What's going on? Because now this link, that front upper, is not nearly long enough. It is not in the neighborhood of long enough. How much did that hole move? A lot, quite a lot. And it's not the chassis, it's that when that upper link was built, it was built to go in this very front hole, and that hole, the second from the back, is the one that's right in the middle of the little honeycomb here. It looks like a honeycomb, right in the middle of the honeycomb. So there's another one, and I can't put the slider on until I deal with that. Oh, is it bad that I want to be super lazy and just put the servo and axle bracket? No! No, we stick to CMS. All right. We're gonna compromise. We're gonna compromise the laziness. And we're gonna take this link off of a Vanquish. And we're gonna replace this link with it because it looks like this link is the correct length. But I'm not gonna need to refabricate anything. We'll swap ends on it later. When you're setting up a panhard front end, you get to remake every link 8 times. So it's not so. And we're changing the rails. Usually changing something as simple as the servo is gonna mess up a 3-link front end, and we just changed the chassis rails. So my surprise that this doesn't line up is next to 0. Like it shouldn't line up. That is actually go a little that one. So we're just gonna fudge it. We're gonna pick a hole that makes it look like we get our. We need to lean that more. So here comes that rain again. I hope I stay audible. You were asked, did you see that fusion that's snap in half? If somebody can put a link to that on the Discord, please do. I desperately want to see an Ascent Fusion snap in half. I'm not even kidding. Like my Friday is made by the time we get to live stream time. That would be the cherry on top for realsies. But 4-link CMS, can you? You should not. That would be because the drag link will now act like a panhard, but a variable geometry panhard. So it will try to swing the front end side to side. And especially when you're dealing with front ends like this that are not heavily triangulated, that servo will be able to overpower the front end and just flop it around. Just flop it around. So definitely what I call a 5-link, definitely not recommended. This link is actually, you can't tell until you bolt it all the way down. I was going to say that it was too long, but we're all the way in the forward hole. That Ascent Fusion snapping in half was recommended to me on my YouTube. Yeah. I don't know if Henry's on the Discord. Dang it. I really want to see it. You know what? We're gonna go middle. We're gonna go middle. Let's see how middle works. This laptop goes to sleep way too fast. Let's see if somebody sent me a link to it. S5 1.9. Dang, now I'm gonna have to order some of those Trekkers, man. I kind of like the King Trekker and just said, oh, there you go. Okay. All right, I'm putting it on right now. Oh my God. That's where I would expect it to break. Yeah, that's where I would expect it to break. It broke right there. That's a no. Yeah, the Fusion is on the carbon chassis on the Ascent Fusion. Yeah, the stock carbon chassis. I'm getting a lot of hate for making brass links. They break easily, they are sticky, and don't slide well, and you're stupid. Those people don't know what they are actually talking about at all. Brass as a material is significantly more. I don't want to make up a word. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna Google something here real quick. You ever have a word in your head and you're not sure if it's real? Yes. The word in my head was lubricious. Brass slides easier than stainless steel. It definitely slides easier than aluminum. Aluminum is the worst choice for link. The best choice for a link overall is titanium. It slides very easily and it's very light because the weight of a link is struck halfway. It is half sprung and half unsprung. So like I tend to, if I'm gonna put brass somewhere, it's gonna be right there. Front lower. Perfect spot for brass. Steel, brass. What part do these buffoons think that you're breaking? Because inside there are 4mm set screws. Those certainly aren't going to break. The only thing that ever breaks are the plastic rod ends, and boy, those are, look how close to worn through those are. Oh wow, that's just perfectly smooth. Those are just worn level on there. Whoa, okay, there we go. Come back in. So yeah, you're not gonna break these, and you never will break these. As a matter of fact, I don't know how well it shows. Those are a little flat on the bottom. They're a little D-shaped. And look where, because of the caster flip, look where his tires strike. Look at that. Look at that high polish. I think we'll upper and get it even better. Look at that. Woo! That is actually worn down a little. There's a divot in there. How long do you think these tires have been rubbing on that? Yeah, you're not going to break a brass link. It's never going to happen. Those guys are buffoons. Am I still live? Yes. That's weird because titanium is a galling metal. Have you ever thought about carbon upper links? You could, but here's the deal. Oh, he's back over here. The perfect guy to show this off is the guy where we went every effort to shave every possible gram, okay? So, his lower links are just regular steel links because I didn't want a budget to put titanium links under him. Might. His rear uppers are aluminum, and these are, I want to say 5mm aluminum uppers. His front uppers are Delrin, also turned down to about 6mm Delrin. These only weigh a couple grams more than the Delrin ones. Delrin, you're not going to get much lighter than Delrin ones. I want to say that with the ends, his front uppers are, I think they were 7 grams each for both links. Also, every little bit, in the spirit of every little bit, this guy runs all of the upgrade Delrin pivot balls. If you're looking to shave weight, a Delrin pivot ball will shave, it's close to a gram per, is it a gram per ball? 1.7 grams per ball? Anyway, you take off almost 2 ounces from the vehicle by swapping out all stainless steel pivot balls for all plastic pivot balls. Don't fall down the weight weenie thing. It's scary down there. It's scary down there. Lubricious. It's a great word. If Baseline can run brass links, I think it's pretty safe. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Also, here's the thing about carbon. Carbon is strong on 2 axes and weak on the 3rd. So with a link, I need a hollow link. I need a hollow link. Oh, next drawer. Okay. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Okay. Now, pretend, for the sake of pretending, that this is not brass, but is instead carbon. It's going to be strong this way. That's one axis. It's going to be strong to crushing because it's basically a tube, so it won't want to bend that way. But then it's got that 3rd axis, right? So what's going to happen is something, you do have a risk at some point of something get overwhelmed, and then the tube, well, actually carbon, if this was a carbon tube, its weakest axis is actually end to end. If you set a carbon tube like that and hit it with a hammer, you can just, you'll squash like the whole end of it. We don't have those kind of loads though, so we don't really have to worry about that. What's going to happen in my experience, estimation, and opinion is what's going to happen is on a carbon rod end, you're going to be like this, and you're forever going to have this weak point. And it's going to be right here. It's going to get a load like that, and pow, it's just going to take it apart. So if you want to do a carbon link, I think the only way to really do it would just be to remember the old Traxxas fixed camber links, where it's basically just shaped like basically shaped like this with 2 holes in it, and one end mounts on the chassis and one goes to the axle, and it's just a flat plank. Because any interface with some other material to put a rod on it, it's going to get weak. That's like why they do those chassis spacers that are carbon with the little inserts in them. Because they have to have the inserts in them, they're only saving an appreciable amount of weight. So you're just putting them on there because they look cool. You're not putting them on there because they're stronger, because they're not. A single piece of aluminum is going to be much stronger. A hobby shop in Italy had the chisels in stock, brand new in the original packaging. Yeah. And those definitely won't need 3D printed inserts. Yeah. And not only that, it's really difficult. I don't know if you can put a 3D printed insert in a tire like this unless you printed an insert that was That was printed like that because, like, where's the rim? It's way in there. Oh, it's way in over there. They have these huge overhangs. Oh, this isn't a chisel, but, you know, you get the point. The chisels are too far away. It would have been too much of a walk. What's the best medium for getting a good finish after mauling it with a lathe and other tools? I start with a flat bastard. You start with a file that's double cut on one side and single cut on the other, and you just do passes. Take it down a little thinner, and then I just work through grades of wet or dry, and then finish with Brasso. And most times, I don't even finish with Brasso because it's going to be a suspension link. I tend to go down to like 400 grit, maybe sometimes 220. I think Baseline's only got finished as far as 220 grit. It doesn't really need it because they're gonna get wrecked. Anyway, most of the links around here, before I started using shock pliers, most of the links would have jaw marks on them from just grabbing with a pair of pliers and just spinning the ends on. Good old shock pliers have saved me a lot. They no longer have chisels in stock. Irwin bought the last of them. Irwin bought them up. No more. Okay, now that all the screws are in, I think it's still going to rub. I'm going to fix that thing. I have the original one from him. So I'm gonna lay that one down, and I'm going to get the spur mounted as close. I'm doing it again. I'm going to get the spur back as close to the motor plate as possible. There's no reason for it to be out that far. None. Particularly when, yeah, like if the spur is out past the end of the motor shaft, maybe it's out too far. So we can pull that thing back in. I wish there was a slipper option for this. I really do. Maybe I'll figure something out. I had to make the shaft for the one of them. That seems a little squishy. Yeah, we'll go right there. It doesn't matter. It's not going to get run like this. What about making your own titanium links? The hard part about that would be threading it. Would be like you would have to use a what? You'd have to use a cobalt or a tungsten die to cut the threads. And based on the price for tooling to work with titanium, there's our guy. Probably cheaper just to buy titanium links. Yeah, machining titanium is not fun. It's not fun at all. It is very hard on the equipment. There are, you know, brass is my guy. Brass is my guy. You know what Ben Webby just said? You can spur mount straight on the box. You know what? You know what are you thinking what I'm thinking right now? Okay, we gotta run it kind of like this, but the thought is now in my head, thanks to Mr. Webby. We've got these two holes right here. Can I make a motor plate that goes right here and just mount the spur right there? And then can I get the motor that far back? I could. I wonder. I wonder. As a thought experiment, that would be right interesting. I don't know. I'm thinking about it now. For better or worse. Yeah, you'll be lucky to make it through a set of links with one tool. Yeah. Delrin is super easy to machine for the uppers. The only thing easier to machine than brass is our good buddy Delrin. Delrin is an absolute treat to work with. It really is. I love it. Naval brass would be my second favorite. And the cheaper grades of aluminum, 2024, stuff like that, are pretty easy to work with. Stainless is awful. Copper is terrible. Oh my God. Working copper is an absolute nightmare. It is much as Axial is clever and dumb at the same time. Copper is extremely soft and extremely hard at the same time. It's like if frozen gum were a metal. Terrible. What's that? Oh, that's pretty okay. That's pretty okay. We didn't put the drive shaft together. Somehow the front one has stayed on. We're getting it together. We're gonna have to take a lot of it apart. We're here so far. Oh, 10 minutes. How long would glass links last? Longer than an ascent. I made my own links and slid acrylic tube over them and really stick. Yeah, acrylic will really slide until it gets really butchered up. It's crappy out. It's been actually a very enjoyable afternoon, evening. Hey. Yeah, it's raining right here. Front-facing outrunner. Interesting. Oh, you have to keep annealing it. Copper, that is. It work hardens. Yeah. I was making vape tips. I was selling them. Me and a buddy were selling them on eBay before eBay considered reclassified everything vape as paraphernalia. It was good times, man. Doing some real boutique stuff, selling all these one-off vape tips that I did, and some of them were. It was pretty good. I mean, I've been lathing for a long time. I think I have an album of it. Yeah, I can't find it. Wait, maybe I can. See all. There we go. Ooh, even with artsy lighting. So, one of the banes of my existence, the one there on the left is copper. And then the one in the middle is, I think, rosewood. And we're looking at like Philippine mahogany on the other side. Yeah, I did quite a lot of them. I should. Oh yeah. Like it's like making vases, but very small. Yeah, I did a lot of those, and they would sell decent. Oh, there's a person in my workshop. They would sell pretty decent, and then eBay was like, it's all paraphernalia. You can't sell any of it, and it ended just like that, just like that. Selling them one day and not selling them the next. Are you able to cut your own metric threads? Like, I mean, as big as a die will go, yeah. How old are you, can I ask? Just my birthday was last Sunday, and I turned 52. 52! Did I ever think, in my early years, I would ever live to be 52? No, I did not. Never even, I was talking to one of my kids, and they'll never understand until they're 52. When you was a kid, how old was old? Like, if an adult told you their age, how old was old? Because I recollect now that when I was small, I'm now the age that my grandparents were when I was young. I'm grandparent age now. I didn't think I'd make it to grandparent age, to be absolutely honest. Every day is a treasure. I put that on correctly. Hey, Charles Hurley thought 20 was old. Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely a sliding scale. The old for me now is that guy on the freeway driving 50. Hey, happy birthday, Vegas Steve. My nemesis, my wife. My wife. You have to say it that way. I've definitely mentioned it before. My wife is one of 8, and there's multiple sets of what they call Irish twins. They have 2 that are less than 12 months apart. So, my wife is number 3. So number 4, her birthday was yesterday. She just turned 50. She can punch and kick. And I remember when she was a little kid. Even though she's 2 years, she's 2 years younger than me. So that old is definitely sliding. I asked her yesterday, I was like, did you ever think at any point in your life that you'd be 50? And she was like, God, no. She was like, do you know how old 50-year-olds are? And I was like, there it is. It's not just me. We're all, it's inexorable, my friends. It cannot be stopped. We're just along for the ride. When I was a kid, I used to say to my nan, what was life like back in the black and white days like? We used to tell the kids, you know, we steal it wholesale from Calvin and Hobbes about, you know, the world being black and white, and it wasn't until later that they invented color. It was a lot harder to pick. It was a lot harder to get fresh fruit because you couldn't tell it was fresh because everything was in black and white. And if your kids are young enough, sometimes they'll believe it. And that's one of the great joys of having children. I'm 41 now and feel every bit of it. Mr. Steve, I will agree with you in that for me, 40 was like there was a drop off at 40, man. Like when I hit 40, I felt 40. But when I hit 50, it was just the same. Like I didn't feel any different. Like, you know, 50 is the one that when you go to the store that sells all the idiotic novelties, there's all the over the hill and like the birthday party favors or tombstones and stuff, right? I didn't feel any different at 40, at 50. 40 was rough. So you're through the worst of it, I would say. And we all lived to some degree different levels of youthful indiscretions, let's say. So we're all paying for those things we've done to different degrees, I'm sure. And I am tall and have been for a long time, so my back hurts all the time, and my ears ring all the time. But I can get out of bed in the morning, so we're hanging in. We're still doing okay. We're still doing all right-ish. I'm 41 and I feel 65. I'm 52 and I feel like I'm probably around 52. When you hit 40, it just gets faster. Tricking children gives you the best buzz ever. It really does. And Mr. Saxton thinks I act like I'm at least 51. I mean, I'll take it. Too Geek to Be Chic's coming up on the 5-0. Jesse, 32 with 26 broken bones. Yoys! I've broken 2. I broke this bone right here, which sucked. And will it get in on the scar? Yeah, right there. That scar also goes all the way down like that. A kickback on a table saw came across, and it fractured this bone, and I didn't even splint it. I just went back to work. It's still fine. It works just fine. This though, this muscle is almost back. Like there's way more tension there. Once you break something, you folks who've broken it will tell you it's never the same. Ever. Never the same. It's been years since that happened, and still not right. 51, 6'7", and a bouncer in the 90s and 2000s, and feeling it. Threw my back out within a week of turning 30 from sneezing. Nice. That's wild. I've broken more bones from 24 to 30 than I did from 0 to 24. I'm in the 20s. Oof. 58 here. I hope to have many more birthdays. Haven't gotten out of my teens yet mentally. I'm right there. Carpal tunnel. Thank God I don't have. And I think it's because, like, I get help. I don't spend a lot of time typing. I don't get that repetitive. I have tremendous hand strength. I have where is it? I have a muscle that the wife goes, "What the hell is that?" Because I have that thing right there. Because I pick up heavy stuff like this all day. Until your hands wear out, which is a thing that didn't used to happen to me when I was younger. And by younger, I mean like 47. Now I'll be picking up, like, we can wrap a block that size pretty easily, right? So imagine this is a huge chunk of concrete. We just pick these up like this. There'll be a certain point in the day where I've picked enough of them up that I'll go like this, and then I'll turn and I'll look down, and my hand is like this. I didn't even feel the thing fall out, and then I start to get the thumb cramps where my thumb will tuck all the way inside. Oh, I almost cramped it right there. My thumb will tuck all the way inside like that, and I can't move it. It's great. Aging is great. And you know what? Aging is so great, I don't hesitate to recommend it to everybody, because there's always the alternative. Hey, Miata Commuter's going to join me at 52. Grinders killed my hand and arms. Yeah, being a mechanic and the repetitive motion is what killed my hands. Yeah. My grandmother had the arthritis from like elbows down from being a seamstress for like 40 years. The real repetitive motions where you're just doing the same exact motion over and over and over. I try to mix it up. But I was just talking to somebody else about how all those years on the bike, really overdoing it on the bike, it took 2 years before I could stand up without my knees going, sounding like a box of Rice Krispies or a bowl of Rice Krispies. It was really quite bad. And I had this like rotational, like this is the position that you're in on a road bike. So I got this like tennis elbow, but here, and it was there for almost 2 years after getting on the bike. If I had ridden the bike a normal amount, like I haven't lifted concrete, I did a little bit like 3 weeks ago, but I'm not doing it every single day. If I approached coursework the way I approached cycling, I would be physically destroyed. One of the guys who's regularly here in the chat, was over here the first time that he came over and I was doing a live stream. I stand the whole time. I'm standing the whole time. And he's like, "How do you stand up for so long?" And I was like, "I stand up all day. I'm always standing. This stupid thing doesn't think I'm standing because my heart rate doesn't elevate when I stand up, because even though my cardio is in the trash can from not being on the bike anymore, I still have very low heart rate variability. Which is good, though. So there's an annoying thing that's good for you. My heart rate doesn't spike when I stand up. My resting heart rate and my standing heart rate are like a couple beats apart. I work in automation. The young people complain we take jobs away. The old people chant, "You don't want that job." Yeah, 100%. I think if I tried to finish concrete now, I might end up in the meta center. Yeah. I'm getting the dropsies now too. The eyes don't work like they used to. It came on in a day where there's the range, right? You've got your glasses on and the phone, and we're fine until we get to here, and now we can't see it anymore, right? Out here is just fine. If I take the glasses off, now I can't see that. I got to come back to where... So when you're getting up inside of this, it's this constant festival of looking through the glasses, looking over the glasses, looking through the glasses, looking over the glasses. And I think that astigmatism is the only thing that's keeping me out of readers right now. But it's inevitable, right? We're all going to end up with the readers. I don't want to be a trifocal guy, so... Oh my God. RC family, I'm gonna say this. You poor bastard. I have known the conversation from over. I'm 54 with a 2.5-year-old son. Those are what they call disparate energy levels, right? I had my kids at 30, which was perfect, because if I had them at 20, I would have killed them, because I was not ready. I don't think I was ready for kids at 30, but 50, I cannot even imagine. If I had a 2.5-year-old, there's no way. There's no way. RC family needs to recognize he's at grandparent age. The 2.5-year-old is supposed to be the one that leaves, that they come to visit Nana and Papa, and then they go home with your kids. Oh my God. I can't imagine a 2.5-year-old. Kevin is 61 and works as a trashman in the UK, on his feet all day and still active. He's probably going to outlive us all too. He's probably going to outlive us all, because activity is what keeps us alive. It really is. Because what happens is people get sedentary. Sedentary. That word doesn't sound right. Sedentary. People get sedentary, and then the next thing you know, you're dead. Keep moving, because then there's the alternative. Talks of age and toy cars. That's where we are. Reading glasses. My back hurts. I threw up my back sneezing. These are all things that we can share in common as we age. And that's the beauty of aging, if there's a real beauty to it, is that time is extremely relative. Is extremely relative, where no two of us are aging at the same rate. That's just true. Definitely have to wear glasses when I play Rainbow Six. Yeah, I don't even try to play the games with the kids. I've been playing Dead Island 2, and I usually play Minecraft. Like Silo just came out, new season of Silo, and I need to catch up on Tulsa King. So it's usually dual monitors, TV show over here, Minecraft on this side. It keeps my ADHD in check, because I can be active mentally with something, and I can absorb the show on the other channel. Out here, it's just loud music and toy cars. That's the way we like it. This can do YouTube right here, but I don't do it. I don't watch videos out here. This is not the place for videos. So, 52 with 5 kids, 21, 19, 17, 16, and 12. I think the 21 and the 12 are too far apart. That's just my opinion. I've got a 21 and a 19. That was what we shot for. And oh my God, I'm glad that I have just 2. 2 was a lot. 2 was a lot. I wear thin glasses so I can peer under or over them for close work. Yeah. Oh, I am probably going to get yelled at today. Oh my God, we're over like 10 minutes. We're over like 10 minutes. If there was a place to be over by 10 minutes, it would be this one. To the members, which is virtually all of you, except for a handful, I am going to stop this, and then I'm just going to go to the other one over here, and I'm gonna post the members one. I was gonna do it at 4, but I want to drive and get a coffee instead. So I'm gonna shut this off, and I'm gonna hit the members one, and that's probably how we're gonna do it moving forward. So you can watch it whenever you want. You know, it's not heavy duty stuff. It's mostly me asking you questions, because the members are gonna shape the future of the members show, as you are all the members, and this is all the members show. And yes, try to avoid $100 servos on a daily basis. So, thank you so much, everybody. I got concrete work tomorrow. We'll see if I survive. We got bit more Crawl Olympics coming up. We got all sorts of good things. Sputter Crawler, who's been here in the chat, sent me 17 sets of tires to test, mostly old 2.2 stuff. I just mounted up the Moabs for an upcoming test. I just mounted those up this morning. So I had a bunch of tires that I wanted to mention giving away and completely forgot. So we'll take care of that next week. I've got those 2.2s. I've got some 155 Baja Claws. I got a bunch of tires. We'll do that. We'll do that next week. We're going to give a rig away next week. We'll do that stuff next week. And I will see you in between now and then as well. I'm always on the chat. You can find me in the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, hit up the Discord. It's a good time. And somebody mentioned, I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the Discord said that some RC channel has never answered any of their questions or comments. What are these channels? What are these like, how big do you think you are? I try to answer every comment that seems like a question. If it's just a comment, then I just read it. But if like somebody asks me something, I'm going to answer it on the Discord, on the YouTube comments, wherever, on Instagram, wherever. How do people get to a point where they think, oh, I don't need to answer that? Ugh, it's ridiculous. All right. To quote Mr. Scrivener, have a great weekend, everybody. See y'all next week. Oh, you know what we got? We can do the thing. And this time, I won't Irish goodbye it because I forgot about the delay. And it came out as an unintentional Irish goodbye, but I didn't mean to end the stream before this spun. We were trying to get a Susan in there. So, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time, and I'm going to do this. We had a good one. We definitely had a good one. She's in top form today. I will see you all in the next one.